They are that bloody good, Phil Hurton. Oh, Harry Prosser gets dropped! The excitement is building, the crowd is here.
Oh, why not, mate?
Footy fans, and welcome to Webb Oval for round 15 in the Adelaide Footy League Division 1 season. The finals start later this month, and today's two sides appear set to make them. They're the two hottest teams in the division. The hosts unbeaten all year, the visitors winners of their last four. Always claiming the two premiership points are Filming Footy sponsors. Archie's Footwear, Belgravia Apparel, New Balance, Nearmouth Mouthguards, Hahn, Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic, Farmers Leap Winery, Police Credit Union, Dartfish Footy Stats, and the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. Coming up, it's undefeated Glenunga hosting Golden Grove. Someone's winning streak is coming to an end. Thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League. Yes, Webb Oval is where we're at for this beautiful Saturday afternoon. You can see the blue sky. I'm Phil Hurton with Adam Jeffries, bringing you the game of the day between Glenunga and Golden Grove. And Adam, I guess let's start off with Glenunga. They're 14-0. Question now is, can they go undefeated, and what extra pressure does that put on a team?
I think today's their biggest test. I think Golden Grove can come out here and potentially cause an upset, but every time we think that something's going to happen with Glenunga, they just win, don't they? They just win. Even when they don't play well, they win, which is their strength with their depth and their coaching from Coach Grimer. So I still think Glenunga will win today, but this will be a cracker game. I think Golden Grove can get within a kick.
Well, Golden Grove, they've won their last four, admittedly against teams below them on the ladder, until last week when they beat Port District at home, swept the series against them. Now it's not just playing finals. They could, if victorious today, possibly even get a double chance.
Yeah, they'll be eyeing third spot now. It looks like there's a little bit of separation in the ladder, doesn't it, where the top five is almost set, but we've seen strange things happen this year. But Golden Grove have found their mojo, winning the close games, and last week they were more than impressive. They soaked up the pressure from Port Districts, and their kicking going inside 50 was a real highlight, wasn't it? So if you look for that game style again from them today, they'll soak up the pressure and then try and get them on the slingshot the other way. It's going to be a great game.
Golden Grove noted pretty much for their attack. Glenunga, their defence. We're playing on Webb Oval, very narrow, quite small ground. How do you think those two strengths will balance against each other?
Well, that's going to be the game, isn't it? I don't think can't remember Glenunga conceding any more than 7 or 8 goals in a game out here. So if they can find that, because Glenunga traditionally aren't a big scoring team themselves. So if Golden Grove can hit the scoreboard early like they did last week, 5 goals into the breeze, it'll be game on.
Well, for winter, it's a warm day between two hot teams. We'll bring it all to you after the break.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep. Basically, since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
There's the scene this afternoon. What a glorious day in the South Australian capital. Round 15 of the Adelaide Footy League. Glenunga and Golden Grove, two teams in a rich vein of form. Glenunga have not lost since their grand final defeat last season. And Golden Grove, I think they're starting to find their way in Division 1. Phil Herden, Adam Jeffries were here in the van. What a glorious day to be out and about.
10 degrees warmer than last week, isn't it? I genuinely struggled last week. Now I've got the jumper off, so loving it. Yeah, great day. Beautiful day today.
It had an interesting start, folks. The B grade final score, which has finished, was 4-5 to 3-4, and you might think that's a very low-scoring game. That's because we had quite a serious injury, unfortunately, to James Smith, who I believe has broken his leg in some rather unfortunate places, and he was out, and we needed the ambulance to come and pick him up, and so that took up most of the first half, unfortunately for James of Golden Grove. So the Glenunga won that game, by the way, by 7 points. Golden Grove the Seas by 19. But that's why there's no action happening at the moment. They sort of decided there was no point having two half times, so they played the third and fourth quarters early. Let's have a look to the A grade, because there's plenty to have a look at, and the ladder is getting very interesting, and things are starting to sort themselves out.
Yeah, just fractionally. Is there going to be a late swing with that, with Broadview or Prince Alfred making a run into fifth? I don't think so, but you never know, Phil, if both of those teams win today and the teams on 7 wins drop one, it'll tighten up again. So I wouldn't discount something weird happening there. But for mine, the top 5 teams are the best 5 teams, so probably deserve to be where they're at. But there's going to be some ladder changes all across, probably apart from top spot and second spot, which are sewn up, Phil.
Yep. Well, Broadview is closer to relegation than they are to fifth spot. And it's not just 2 games behind, it's 2 games and significant percentage. Our umpiring crew making their way out in the grey today, of course, with Golden Grove having that shade of green that could clash normally. Frank Manicus and Tony Simons are our field umpires. Daniel Milne and Michael Polnitz are the boundary. Robert Lombardi and Phil Delvin on the goals. So this game, Golden Grove are now in double chance contention. They have a better percentage than third place Payneham, who play Port District. I don't think Golden Grove can be third tonight, but they will certainly be in the mix.
Yeah, they're going to be in the mix. I'm not sure what their run home is. Obviously, the toughest assignment is Glenunga at Webb, their assignment today, which I still think they're a chance of winning today, but they'll have winnable games in the last 3 games remaining to maybe make a run at that third. But I think if they stay in fifth, Phil, I still think they can do some damage and win a final or 2.
Well, for Glenunga, they had their biggest win and highest score last week. They put 19 goals on the board, 19-18, 132, taking care of Prince Alfred easily by 90 points. They've won it on the bit. Only 3 games decided in single figures. 4 points. We were here against Port Districts a few weeks back. Sacred Heart by 8 points. And Golden Grove up at Harpers Field, just the 1-goal win, 13-10 to 12-10. And Glenunga have taken the field. And they are a hot trot team at the moment.
Yeah, I still find it amazing. Like a team that's 14-0, and they're kind of like, I don't think we've given them enough credit for how good a season that is, Phil. Like, it's just, they're winning. But I know, having coached in Division 1, to get a team to 50%, to get to 7 7, 8 and 6, you have to be on top of your game. And to just win every week when everyone's coming at you, they've had injuries. They've had a lot of player departures last summer as well. They're not the same team as last year, but They just find a way to win when they're not playing even at their best. They win. So yeah, they're an impressive lineup. And what's been better for me as well this year, Abe Davis has been a star, but he hasn't been an absolute superstar. He hasn't needed to win games off his own boot. I think they've got an even more well-rounded, even contribution this year. And I think they're certainly going to be hard to beat, and they'll be hungry come grand final. Right? It's hard to see them not making the grand final, isn't it, Phil?
Well, they've locked up the double chance already, so that means they have to go out in... and they're not far off from wrapping up the minor premiership, in which case they have to win one of their last two to get in. They've had at least 6, possibly 7 players that have debuted for Glenunga this year, so it's not just a case of last year's team sort of just coming back and playing. They've had, as you've mentioned, a lot of different players to intermingle, and they've been hot to trot from the start. Golden Grove, well, we can see a lot of L's on the left and quite a few W's on the right.
Yeah, so they started slowly, and a lot was made mention of it. They were so dominant for 2 years in Division 2 and Division 3, and I think in the pre-season tips, we all tipped them to maybe be a top 3 team, didn't we, Phil? But, you know, they lost the close games. I think you said something like 5 of their 5 losses under 8 points in single digits. So, you know, they haven't been far away. They've had a lot of close wins as well. So they've had to learn to play the close games. You know, the Division 1 competition, no doubt, you know, everyone talks about it, but the facts are that when you jump from Division 2 to Division 1, the teams are more well-drilled defensively, in particular. They have more depth. There's no weak links. So they've had to just adapt a little bit. But for mine, Phil, I think they can make a run now. Like I said, they tick all the boxes. They've got key position stocks. They've got top-end talent, guys that have played AFL football. They've got depth with their B grade being solid. You know, when they lose a couple of troops, they come back in. And we spoke with Lachlan Pascoe last week. He's a huge in, Phil. If he can stay on the park for the rest of the season, they've got a full forward that can kick 4 and 5 goals every week, and there's probably nobody else in the competition that can do that.
Well, I got bad news for you, because I got really late mail, and he's out.
Oh, there we go.
For Michael Cavallaro. That one's just arrived by the carrier pigeon, and thanks to Golden Grove for letting us know that. So, and
we should underestimate, he is a significant. Let's hope that's not a long-term injury. Hopefully that's just for today, because he's an important piece.
I was thinking, has he gone back to the Magpies? But of course, Sandford team's not playing at league level. So, you would think only be an injury or a late notice of some other commitment. But, Nick Preston, Jed Banwell and Lockie Pascoe are out today. Coming in, Jared Kotrov, he's wearing number 29. For those that are looking for him, wearing number 3. Lachlan Borg and Michael Cavallaro come in. 3 changes for Glenunga. Tom Bilby, Bo Schwartz, big out there, and Jack Machette also out. Coming in, that was Will Davies. It's going to be Kane Pearson wearing number 39. Thomas Braun and Gabe Lagana. So I guess out of all those, 6 changes, 3 each. The loss of Lockie Pascoe is probably the biggest one. Yeah,
and to mine, you know, knowing that now, it does tip the scales more further in the favour of Glenunga here at Webb today. I think, like I said, Pascoe is a bit of a game changer. Not many clubs have a genuine full forward option like him.
Well, producer Hugo's been at it again. He's been digging into the archives. 1841. That's got to be 5 years, I would suggest. 2019. Thanks, Hugo. Well, only 6 points at Golden Grove earlier this year. As we've got the captains coming across for the coin toss. That would be Cam Shenton. And Abe Davis. Gee, doesn't Abe Towers over Cam Shenton as well. Wow.
Inside midfielder.
Oh, we got a co-captain as well, just for the occasion.
Might be a milestone game or something like that for the coin toss.
I think it's a past player sponsors day today, because there are some marquees and a
few wines and
little
spirits
picketed
being
fence
consumed
up
down in the corner there.
Yeah,
and what a day when you have when the clubs arrange these days, Phil. You want good weather, and it'll bring an extra 1,500 people come through the turnstiles today.
Yeah, well, Cam Shenton's won the toss, kicking to the clubhouse end,
which is always down the hill here at Webb.
Yep. Not quite the same hill we saw at Harper's Field last week. Who's that taking the photo? Lincoln Bennett. Okay. Hope he's got someone to hand that camera off to. Let's see that. Yeah. Actually, I've never seen that before. A player coming into the huddle for the coin toss with a camera.
Must be a special occasion for these guys today of some sort. We'll have to find out what that is.
So those other games are Glenunga. Basically, I'm not sure if Golden Grove have ever beaten Glenunga. They probably have met in the lower divisions earlier than 2019 and done it, but of course only their second meeting at Div 1 level, and possible finals game, although you really think it's going to be Glenunga Sacred Heart in that second semi, which is, what's that going to be, the 7th of September. Finals, the Div 1 finals start August 31, Divs 2 to 6 start August 24, and it's only a fortnight away before the Div 7 men's finals start, and the women are starting this weekend.
Yeah, once the calendar clicks over to August, Phil, the June and July are sort of those grind months.
Yep.
Once it gets to August, I don't know if it's Mother Nature talking today, the sun's out, finals are coming soon. So teams want to be gearing up for that. You know, like I said, June and July is a grind. Now you're out of that grind period. These two teams are looking at September action, want to be playing their best football.
Now, Adam, I've gone back through a few introductions in recent weeks, and you've been on upset alert for, I reckon, about 2 months.
Yeah, I'm trying to be sneaky with my tips. Tipped against Glenunga once or twice, but probably shouldn't have. They're 14 and zip. I have to say, if Pascoe was playing, I'd be going with Golden Grove today. I just think he's just someone you can't cover, Phil. You can cover a lot of pieces, on ballers, wings, halfbacks. You can cover those pieces. You can't cover him. So I'm interested to see how they maybe restructure their forward line. Having said that, Slater's been a good player for them up at full forward this year. He's been capable of kicking 3 and 4 goals in a game. But if Glenunga are hungry today and they get their defensive structures in place, they won't give away any goals like Port District's turned the ball over a lot last week. Glenunga don't do that. So it'll be hard for Golden Grove to get any momentum. Let's see how it unfolds, though.
Yeah, well, the other games, we probably should give them a quick mention. Big one, Port District and Sacred Heart. In a word.
That's Districts at home. Need to win.
Payneham and St. Peter's, 2 close neighbours.
Payneham should win at home.
Broadview and... it might be Brighton, I think.
It's St. Peter's, Brighton, so go back to that one. Yeah, so it is Brighton,
St. Peter's?
Yeah, and I'm tipping St. Peter's in that one.
Okay, and Prince Alfred Teachview Gully. The loser is starting to get really nervous about the season.
Yeah, we're looking at 2 finalists here, but the relegation battle is hot. I think Prince
Prelim
Alfred...
final last year, those two.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think Prince Alfred get the chockies there.
Alrighty. We will... well, when I was talking to our mobile cameraman, James, who's going to bring us a lot of great pictures this afternoon, he said, what should happen? I said, well, Glenunga should win, Golden Grove could win. And I think with Pascoe out, that certainly increases the odds for the Rams. But it will be the Kookaburras. That will be through McKelvey with the initial inside 50 kick, but Zach Smith has that well and truly covered. No real wind advantage that we've been able to pick up, as that's Jordan West in the middle of all that claiming it.
It's a big man, Jordan West, isn't he? Just like picking an apple off the tree there. Great mark for him, and he's had a great season.
Yeah, last time I saw Jordan, it was up against Scott Lysette of Port District, and Lysette just had an absolute blinder. He'll probably appreciate a more even match-up today. Off hands, Kookaburras have a little kick into space. Will it sit? No. Oh, yes, it will. It will sit for Hable. Hable's kick, though, will take a left-hand turn. And in the end, Glenunga will bring it back courtesy of the last disposal. I thought for a second he was out of bounds, but didn't really have the best positioning on that.
Good to see that unfold. He's a good player, Hable. He's got a good turn of speed, set up some goals last week with his clean skills.
We'll come back. We're seeing plenty of footy in front of us, which is fantastic. Almost picked out Webb perfectly. He's battling for it at ground level where the pack will descend. Umpire says my ball. If you just joined us, we've been going 75 seconds. Golden Grove won the toss. They're kicking to the left of your screen. In the green, gold and blue, the Rams in the double blue attire. Shenson in the ruck, bit of a backhanded pass, looking for Pittman. It comes to him now. Kick around the body. He's collected 2 beanies in 2 weeks from us. Not too often we get to see a team 3 weeks in a row, but Golden Grove play an entertaining enough brand of footy to say that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we have seen a bit of Golden Grove this year, but it's good. They've got some great players, and they're coming home like a steam train, aren't they? Good start for them too. They've had the first 3 inside 50s. Like again, Glenunga know how to soak this up. They need to capitalise, kick the first goal here.
So here comes the throw-in. Webb, West with the tap down. As it's spread pretty tight in the kitchen. Slater with the tackle. And that's Spencer Prowse at the bottom of it. We'll go again. Glenn, the third man up. He's trying to tap it into some space. Golden Grove have the numbers if they can just get it out a little bit, but they can't. And already a bit of how do you do? Welcome to Webb Oval. Try the barbecue. Come and have a drink afterwards. Here's Glenn. He has these for dinner, but on this occasion has butchered it. First score of the game, it's behind the Golden Grove. They're one. Glenunga yet to go forward.
No real change in Glenunga's game style here. It's long to the contest, not taking any risks on the short ball.
It's almost like where's West in heading his general direction at the moment. And yes, with a good long kick, with the kicking out rules, you can almost get it to the centre of the ground in one big heave. To Sierra.
I'm sure Jesse Ten would probably like to have that one back. He just went to hit the ball forward and just grazed it, hit it to third slip. We've had enough time to grab it and handball to a runner there.
Thankfully he gets another shot. Abe Davis, one of his first touches. Spills to Pridham through the hands, I think, of Prowse. We're inside forward 50 for Glenunga, but not for long. Josh Ingram has been pretty impressive in the last 2 weeks that we've seen them live. Say that, he turns it over. Here come Glenunga again towards the open goal, and that's your first score. Kicked by Jesse Tem.
So that's the difference in game styles, isn't it, Phil? Glenunga just don't take that kick, that short ball to even a 70-30. Unless it's 100% on the short pass, Glenunga will not take it. Golden Grove trying for it and turnover, shot on goal. That man Johnston with the kick outs. It's a great tactic using him there. Let's see what he does. He can pierce the ball anywhere, this guy.
Looking forward to seeing him launch a couple into the T-source of the middle ground. Yep, sure enough. That's on centre wing immediately. Another pick up by Tim. He gets the hand pass out. Glenunga into that, what I call it the B-grade pocket, because when Tommy Javoy used to join us, before he joined us, he had his B-grade team here. Used to put in that pocket after their epic encounters. Glenunga's kick, Davis is lurking at the back, but it's Ingram with some help to Johnson, who we will ask the eternal question almost, Adam. When is he going to get tagged?
Not so far today. He's already had 4 or 5 disposals.
That's right, West kick.
That's a great mark.
He's found it inside 50. This is Bennett. So
this is
he's had a busy start, taking photos, taking marks.
And he's got the first set shot on goal for the game. So again, we've seen Golden Grove just going for that little bit of short pass again, and the ball just rebounds back inside 50. Glenunga high volume inside 50 team. Eventually someone's going to take a mark. Great mark by Bennett there. He's a good mark for his size, actually. He's not a big man, but he's a strong contested mark.
Yeah, both teams were able to bottle up inside their 50 area for a while. Golden Grove got a point, as did Glenunga, but a chance to add to that here. There's plenty of interchanges occurring at our end from 48. High kick, wind not really affecting things you think, but that's a miss. It's 2-1 in favour of the hometown Rams.
Yeah, they've had the last 4 inside 50 now. I think Johnson will look to go long again. And that's a better kick out. They've been able to retain possession. Their last 2 defensive 50 exits have rebounded straight back in.
Both had some decent distance and
that's a good mark on the wing. Try and catch who that is, but that's a really good contested mark. So we've got to try and maybe wheel and go a little bit quicker before they get their numbers back. Straight to West, the spare, or Ruckman getting back into the hole.
And I think he's been taken high or over the shoulder. Was West.
It's a great play by Ruckman, though, isn't it? He does a mountain of work. He's the kick-out target so often, and then on the slow play there, he's able to get back and clog up the defensive 50.
Yeah. Get some good penetration with that kick. It's on the centre wing. Through Pridham's hands. Good crowd under work. Rams will go forward to a one-on-one contest. Spills now for Carlo Vasitis, who the last time we saw, Adam, I'm not sure if you, because you were on assignment that week, almost killed himself running into a three-man collision. Thankfully got up to tell the tale and got a Mosley voucher out of it for courage. But Glenunga, well, they had numbers there momentarily, weren't quite quick enough on the hands. We do have a Wonky playing this afternoon.
Yeah, good to see Nick. He's missed the first half of the season with an injury, a knee injury, I believe. He'll be an important player. He was used in the ruck last year, but with West's recruitment, they can use him in key posts, either forward or back. Solid contested player. See already Abe Davis having a rest at full forward. That's early for him. Normally he'll go to maybe the middle of the quarter. 7 minutes in, he's gone to full forward for a quick breather. Won't be there long. I don't think he'll just, they need him around the ball today.
That was Declan Fahey trying to escape. Went straight to Pridham.
So just keep an eye. We were talking about before, Phil, about potentially Johnston getting tagged. Just keep an eye on Bennett, maybe going to Johnston. Let's keep an eye on that matchup.
I just want to see if you can, if I can see it, I'm sure Coach Grimer and every other coach in the league can see it, that he gets a lot of easy kicks that does damage. Meanwhile, Glenunga have gone forward, and that's a great battle momentarily with Davis going up forward. He's got Ingram, and Davis has taken the mark, and we've got a Golden Grove play down. Hopefully not as bad a way as James Smith was earlier, needing the ambulance.
That's Thatcher as well, who's been such a good player. That looks like a decent rolled ankle or something there, which is not good.
Needing help coming off. It's early days to get one of those.
Because he's been a very, very good player in the last fortnight in particular, hasn't he, Phil?
Moseley Bar and Kitchen winner last week. He's been in the best players the last couple that we've covered.
Doesn't miss too many of these, Davis, does he?
He's going to try and ride that left goal post.
Commentator's curse.
And he has.
Let's hope Thatcher can return.
Goaled it!
No, that needs to...
The goal umpire has signalled goal.
No, we had the camera right behind that, didn't we, guys? And that just faded to the left.
It's a goal. That's why you wait on the goal umpire.
Yeah, that's a tricky one, isn't it? We're never too hard on goal umpires or any officials, but when the kicker doesn't celebrate and runs to his position on the kick out, let's have a look at this, Hugo. Oh, no.
Okay, I mean the goal umpire had the line and had the position, but he wasn't at the goal post. He was deep, wasn't he? Okay.
The only thing I'll say in the goal umpire's defence is I've goal umpired before. When the posts aren't high, it can be deceiving sometimes.
Yep.
But yeah, there's an interesting one. Let's hope we don't have a 3-point game either way, Phil.
Not wrong. Yeah, well. Yep. Well, first blood to the Rams in one of the least celebrated goals you are ever going to see at this point of the contest.
Credit to Golden Grove there as well for not overly remonstrating with that. I've seen some teams and clubs get really angry with that type of stuff, but they kept their composure. They're just going to keep playing football.
Well, Louis Johnson was all ready to kick it back in.
I think maybe he didn't complain because he was stunned.
Yeah, that's it. What's the first stage of grief is shock. You don't hit anger until stage 3 or something.
It's done. But yeah, we'll get on with the game. But yeah, lucky break there for Glenunga. But having said that, they've had 6 of the last 7 inside 50s, Phil, so they were going to score at some point, weren't they? So
Golden Grove. The feeling they were going to keep bottling it up until they did. Now West backs back. Couldn't mark it, but created a contest. Ingham does well to burst his way forward. One-on-one battle. Getting back there is Scott. Should have enough time to walk out of bounds.
Insufficient intent in the AFL, you might call that, Phil.
Doesn't exist here.
We'll have to keep an eye on the bench here as well. We don't have the boundary rider today, but we'll keep an eye and try and get a report on Thatcher as well. Hopefully he's not done for the day.
Well, he hasn't come back on. That's McKelvey for the moment. Okay, so let's have a look here. West at the back. Good tap behind, almost under the lap at Glenn. Just couldn't quite make it work. The kick out of defence is tapped forward. Glenn has done a lot of work to get over here in a hurry. In front of the past players. And in the end, a stoppage where it's behind the signs that reminds people that we're not playing for sheep stations, just the Adelaide Footy League Shield.
So you can see over there, Phil, again, Bennett is following closely Lewis Johnston.
And just the player tackled was number 29, Jared Cottrove, who's an in. Golden Grove working it around the boundary, but can't get clear possession before it spills out of bounds, right in front of the club room entrance.
One of the things that makes Johnston hard to tag, Phil, is he has a licence to go anywhere on the ground. So he just doesn't have to sit there and be tagged. He goes behind the ball, creates an outnumber behind the ball. He's a good forward, as we know, if he's got an undersized player on him. So that's probably one of the reasons some clubs have opted not to tag, as West gets the clearance.
And he's a good forward. He's main usually as a defender. Oh, Shanton ran into a lot of trouble. Called Charlie Brenham. Got the kick away. Kane Pearson, his kick is swallowed by Dobie. Attacking edge of the centre square. Onto Johnston, who's found a little bit of space, not as much as he's normally used to. Went looking for Slater, couldn't connect. Status is just a little bit more up. Give me a chance to jump at it. And it will be a throw in.
Again, they're just so good defensively, aren't they? They've conceded now 7 inside 50s and haven't had a mark against. Just that one flying shot from Glenn for Golden Grove on the scoreboard from the 7 entries.
Davis tackled, got just a small touch to it. Pridham sort of just surges it forward. Hard footy at the moment. Johnson leaps up, says, I'm not going to be able to mark that because then go 15. Thumps it. It ends up with Borg, one of the ins, and his kick is taken by One-Key. Centre half back for the Rams. They'll look to move it on quickly. One of their traits, which does have its benefits and its detractors, and one of those is can lead to a quick turnover. That was a flattening, and the umpire's seen that, yes.
And I think Nick One-Key unfortunately took the great intercept mark, and his exit kick wasn't quite at his normal standard, and the ball rebounded straight back. He was quite frustrated with himself and gave away that free kick, even if it wasn't a mark. Yeah, Golden Grove need a kick straight here, Phil. They're kind of on top here in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Haven't converted as yet.
Kane Blades, who's kicked 7 goals, including one the last time they met. It was a 1-goal win to Glenunga. Spent some time at Norwood, Modbury and Ardrossan. Kane Blades and played his first A-grade game with Golden Grove back in 2016. There is a bunch of players. Todd Shepherd goes all the way back to 2012 with Golden Grove. Connor Dodd to 2017. Players that have been with the Kookaburras in the lower levels now enjoying them being in the elite grade. And that's an elite kick. And Golden Grove have their response. Blade his first for today and his 8th for 2024.
Yeah, he's been good so far, Blades. It was him that took a nice contested mark on the far wing on the exit before as well. So he's a good mark for his size. Good composed finish because he took a heavy hit from Nick One-Key with the late ear massage spoil, as Spud Frawley would have called it. It was a classic one of those. But a good composed finish by Blades, and we have a good game of football on our hands, Phil. Beautiful
day. Interesting game. What else would you rather be doing but enjoying this on Filming Footy? Quarter time, we'll give you some scores around the grounds. It's great to have Adam on board taking some stats for us. Some key stats to give us some insight. In the middle, Davis got the hand pass out to Faye. Faye's high kick will land on the 50-metre arc. Ingram ran over it. And will be another stoppage. Also Todd Shepherd there. From Robinson. Glenunga trying to keep possession. Pridham, little dainty kick. Look away pass by Parsons. And that's going to be a stoppage.
See, now West has gone to full forward. He might come up and take this ruck, and Abe Davis did the rucking around the ground. So they're quite multi-dimensional, aren't they? Glenunga players, they can play anywhere.
That's it. Option A, B, C and D. Just battling for it by the boundary. Not sure if it actually came off a boot. No, it didn't.
Best to ball those in, I think, rather than perhaps guess.
Well, as people sometimes get confused who don't understand the rule, it's not last touch, it's not soccer. It has to be last disposal. So it has to be not a fumble, it has to be a kick or hand pass. I guess there's a grey line in there somewhere. And this is what Glenunga do very well. They'll just keep bottling it up here. They'll set their ring of players around the edge. There's only 2 players. Their attacking edge of centre at the moment. They'll just keep working it around until they find a way to get a score.
They're looking for 2 things. They're looking for a head-high contact, or they're looking for an opposition hat kick that they can turn back over and kick back in.
Breeze today. Not sure there really is much. Top of the trees are blowing a little bit.
A lot stiller than last week, for sure.
Yeah, it had quite an effect on us, that breeze last week. Golden Grove did get it out. That was pretty clever. I think that was Anthopoulos who topped it over. There's Coach Grimer. So far very calm. And Grimer Cam. There we go.
Grimer Cam. He'll love that when he sees the replay during the week.
Oh, it's going to be coded now. You can actually get your own vision of Grimer Cam. Okay, Pridham, sorry. High kick to the top of the square. West saying, where's my Frio was held. Meanwhile, the play continues. Pridham comes in and attacks his own player in Robinson. somehow out of that, Golden Grove do go forward. This is Borg battling for it with Prowse. I think Prowse is going to win the battle. He does. His hand pass, though, right through the hands of his teammate, sets him up on the spin tackle.
Thought he might have considered a holding the ball call there. It would have been tight.
Right on there. Was it Lestrange? Is that how we pronounce it? Lestrange wing. Here at Webb Oval. Nicely taken by Fay. He found some space there and goes long with a penetrating kick. I mean, that is textbook Glenunga, and West has done very well to lead, get down, get dirty, and take the mark.
He's been really good so far, West, hasn't he? That's one probably his second mark for the day, but his competition is fierce. He's a big body to get around, and he's got a pretty good ball drop for a big fella as well, Phil.
From the Swans of St George in New South Wales. 51 out. Long, high, and straight kick on.
We believe that was a behind.
This goal umpire is going to do my head in. Anyway, it's a behind. Golden Grove waste no time to think about that. They've got a great transition to Slater, and he says, hold the farm, I'm taking a shot.
Yeah, that's what Golden Grove are so good at, aren't they? We saw it in the first quarter against Port Districts last week, didn't we, Phil? Where they just soaked up pressure, but on the rebound, were able to just pierce their way through, and it's such a small oval here at Webb. Yeah. One contest win, a kick over the back, Slater with a shot on goal.
Yeah, they have the skill to do that with the pinpoint passing and players that can take a good grab and convert with kicks like that.
It's a great finish by Slater. It was an easy one for him, the mark. Came over the back, but he's a good solid shot for goal, isn't he? Big fella Slater. Goal kicker every week for them, Golden Grove, and he's about 45 metres out and just absolutely flushed that. So great play, and well done to Golden Grove. Like I said, they have to hit the scoreboard. Glenunga don't give up easy goals, but they got the slingshot there, won the contest on the wing. I think it was an advantage free kick, long kick out the back. Glenunga don't have time to get their numbers back, and a great set shot by Slater.
So on the Hahn Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard, you're looking at it right there. See, the scoreboard attendants get younger every year. Glenunga are 139. They trail the Kookaburras 2-1-13. Davis says I was held. Umpire concurs. Just to wait for the ball to come back to him.
It's been good so far, Davis, hasn't he? Doing ruck work on the ground at full forward. Yep. Scored their only goal. Asterisk so far.
No one around him. Lines up the kick to the hot spot, 40 metres out. Ingram the tap from behind, but it's again, Golden Grove do very well to bottle it up. Got Grove on the tackle. Umpire says, clear out. I needed some space. Davis, who's just kicked that ball before, has come down to the rock contest. Love the work rate. Just being tapped towards that boundary line. And if there was a deliberate, not that there is, Adam, but if there was a deliberate in this league, that would have probably been a contender.
I think it is a rule. They just don't ever pay it.
Okay.
It's got to be extremely deliberate. That was just deliberate.
In front of the gum trees. In the southwest pocket, Glenunga's in, kicking to the right of your screen in this first quarter. Davis grabbed it and hand passed it out. He's a little slow to get up, actually. Not sure he's just a bit tired. He's putting in a mountain of work.
We can see Robinson last week, he was up against Lysette, wasn't he, Phil? And he did a really good job of stopping Lysette grabbing the ball out of the ruck, but he hasn't had so much luck with Davis, who's done it 3 times in a row. That time he makes the contest.
He's got to say, I came here to ruck, not to stop people kicking it. Because there was a rule not that too long ago where if the ruck took it out, it was a free. Speaking of the man, he's been doing the ruck and doing everything else, including kicking both of Glenunga's goals. Abe Davis showing he's not too bad as a rover either.
So what happens when Davis goes into the ruck field? The opposition ruckman is his opponent. And then when the ball's at ground level, guess what? Davis is going to beat him to that ball. And that's not Robinson's fault. That's just the matchup that's occurred. So, yeah, that's where he'll get you. He's competitive in the ruck, but as the play unfolds and the chaos unfolds, Davis is such a good ground level player.
He creates the mismatch,
He creates the mismatch, and he's able to snap a great goal and a lot of congestion there. Well done to him. He's on fire so far. Him and West have been tremendous so far. That's an early nomination maybe for the goal of the day.
Yeah, Melbourne had some last 2 goals. One either side's been pretty decent play. Kick mark conversion by Sider and Davis for the Rams, and it will be... Oh, gee. Most leagues that would be done. This time continued, and Frey can consider himself probably lucky on that occasion. That's Kelly Mansell wearing 18. That's a number change, by the way, Adam. You might not have on your list. As Temmie's kick finds a target, and it sits with Bennett. Bennett had a shot earlier, which he missed.
Slightly further out here, but he'll be looking to make up for that. So Glenunga have had the last 4 centre breaks, Phil, and they've taken 4 marks inside 50 to Golden Grove's 1. So the scoreboard is close, but Glenunga just have the edge, deserve a 1-goal buffer if Bennett can kick this goal.
And he's kicked 15 for the season, 21 last year. Started playing for Glenunga A's 10 years ago, and that's 2 misses. And that is almost the difference in this game. On the harder Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard, the Rams 2-4-16, Glenunga, so Golden Grove 2-1-13. Again, quick movement, and all but for a terrible bounce of the ball. They left Slater flat-footed. They're still going forward, the Kookaburras. It's inside the forward 50 arc, and I'm not sure. I reckon that last 30 metres was all bounce.
Last 2 kickouts have gone that way for them, haven't they, though, Phil? They've been able to get through the press and get a quick inside 50.
You've got the 50-metre arc to the right, the 25-metre dash to the left. West kicked just a little undersold his teammate. And again, the tap towards that boundary line. He's going to mean the throw in front of the fans there in the deck chairs.
Not a bad day to sit in the sun and watch some football, is it?
Perfect day.
Big couple of minutes come up here. Won't be a long quarter, just the 2 goals each. We've seen goals on the quarter time siren can be big momentum changes.
Pridham decided to have a crack at rucking against West. Nothing really came of that. Maybe a 10-metre advantage to Glenunga. 24 and a half gone. I think both sides would be, I don't know, relatively happy with their start.
Yeah, it's been an even matchup, hasn't it? That's where a late goal now can just make you breathe a little bit easier. But yeah, it's an arm wrestle. This is a classic arm wrestle. Should go for the next 100 minutes.
I sort of think it's mostly at Glenunga's tempo and style, but Golden Grove have shown themselves not to be overawed by it just yet. Pross has taken the mark. He's a long way from home. That's a huge kick towards the 25-metre dash. In the end, tackle will be made. Goal here for Glenunga would be very beneficial to them, give them some really great momentum going into the break. Somehow that's come off someone's boots. Somehow. It must be a bit wet there because there's a few players that have slipped over. Kick across by Prosser, who slipped over early. Has he found a teammate?
Found a target there.
Yes, he has. Okay, who's this lad in the corner?
This is whoever's wearing 18.
Oh, yeah, so this is Kelly Mansell.
You'll have to go the drop punt here. Won't be able to arc around.
Yeah, Ralla Kelly Mansell. Siren is gone. There will be a kick after the siren in the scoring range from 30. The Rams like it. What does the goal umpire say? He likes it. It's a goal. And Ralla Kelly Ramsell after the siren gives the Rams their 3rd. We head into the quarter time break. Glenunga looking for their 15th straight win, 3-4-22, my apologies. Golden Grove 2-1-13. You're with Adam Jeffries, Phil Hedden. We'll get some scores around the ground and some stats and analysis. You're watching the Adelaide Footy League thanks to Filming Footy.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep. Basically, since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
It's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HEC stat doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Welcome back. If all else fails, put those headsets back on.
It's a quick break, Phil.
Well, I'm getting some scores around the other grounds, and I can tell the teacher Gully leading Prince Alfred 26-7. Whilst I find some other scores, Adam, what can you tell us about that first quarter?
Yeah, it was, you called it right, Phil. It's definitely Glenunga's tempo and pace, but it's hard not to play that way with the strangulation style that they play. But they're just a little bit on top, and the scoreboard is fair. It's 12 inside 50s to 10. Glenunga have taken 5 marks inside 50, and Golden Grove have only taken the one, which was on that quick transition to Slater. So they haven't been able to, none of their forwards have been able to jump up and win a contest as yet, and Glenunga have won the centre clearances 4-1. So they're just slightly on top, but they never blow you away with a sort of a 6 or 7 goal quarter against a quality team like Golden Grove. So Golden Grove would like some of the things that they did. Their pressure's good. They've had a couple of turnovers early in the quarter that they'd like to have back, and Glenunga would probably rule a couple of shots on goal as well. They'd probably love to have 4 or 5 goals on the board. So just in favour of Glenunga at the moment. Early stages, long way to go.
Alrighty, so just to give you some scores, we've got 3 of the other 4 games at the moment. In the battle for 9th and 10th, St Peter's are leading Brighton by 1 point, 27-26. That's down at Brighton Road. Tea Tree Gully playing Princes, which is what I was looking at when we came back. Tea Tree Gully up by 18, 26-8. And here's your shot, Broadview and Payneham at Broadview. It is Broadview. No, hang on. What have we got here? 920. Okay, thank you. So Port District 19, Sacred Heart 23. Broadview and Payneham. It's Broadview by 19 points, if you don't mind, which would be a surprise.
Yeah, not necessarily. I think some of their results the other way have been a surprise this year. They had a few quality ins this week. I know that Jesse White was back into the lineup. Nick Little, who's a little South Adelaide champion,
Yeah.
Phil. They've got a couple of quality ins. Probably at the right time of year, they've got to make sure they avoid that relegation, Broadview.
So just to confirm, Glenunga by 9 here, St Peter's by 1, Broadview by 19, Tea Tree Gully by 18, and Sacred Heart by 4.
Probably the other rundown we should give Phil as well. It looks like both teams have copped an early injury and both players won't be back for the day. So we'd note that Thatcher, the fullback, has the boots off, and he hobbled off quite severely with an ankle injury by the looks of it. Doesn't look like he'll be returning. And who was it filled the in for Glenunga? We had a
Kane Pearson.
Yeah, Pearson looked like he had a hamstring injury iced up already. So both clubs look like they're down to 2 rotations, which is fair for both, but one player down each way.
Let's just say he had ice in a place where you don't normally put ice.
In
public.
The trainers and physios for both clubs have had a busy day today, Phil.
They have, and of
in
course,
the early grades and already in the A grade 2 injuries.
I think I heard there were 3 stretcher cases early, and one of them was an ambulance case for James Smith, who from Golden Grove we believe has broken his leg, and James might be in recovery, needing to watch the stream to take his mind off things.
Hopefully he's got the green whistle and he's watching our stream.
I
Fast
think he's
recovery,
on about
mate.
his 3rd or 4th by now, I suspect.
Fast recovery, mate. Get back out in the field next
That's
year.
it. Alrighty, so for mine, a fairly long break. I mentioned that both coaches I thought would be happy with parts of it that they saw in the first quarter. Golden Grove seemed to match Glenunga where they could, but it was Glenunga's tempo. But both teams taking their time, both coaches taking their time for a fairly long address.
There's plenty to discuss, isn't there? But the reality is you've just got to win contests against Glenunga, and what they haven't been able to do that in their forward line thus far. So they probably, the coach is probably looking for a Josh Glenn or someone like that to bob up today and be that goal scorer, that guy that can win those contests. So let's see what happens here in the second quarter.
Yeah, and I would say just watching Kane Pearson come off, being appreciated by some of his teammates, putting a jacket on.
Yeah.
I think his afternoon might be...
It's not a good time of year as well, is it? If you have a 3 or 4 week injury with 3 rounds to go, and the depth Glenunga have, he's a guy that's been on the fringes. But season's not over yet, Phil. Hopefully he's not too downcast.
Yeah. Well... Of your screen, they'll do that right now with Abe Davis, who got the free. Always feels like there's lots of long penetrating kicks in ground because it is a small one. It just seems to always go further.
You can roost a ball, Davis, but you do get deeper entries here at Glenunga with the oval about 10 to 20 metres shorter than most of them.
He got a touch, but Pridham had him. Ball up 30 metres out, straight in front. Davis the tap behind. Glenn's kick is partially smothered. I reckon that was Kennett to Pridham. Kennett underneath that. Got it back to Pridham again. And this time, what was it? Touched off the boot. Umpire says, yep, no mark there. I'll take the ball. Thank you very much.
It'll be interesting to see what the Golden Grove coaching staff do. Well, we haven't called Cameron Shenton a lot, Glenn. Maybe these guys need to play inside 50 today, Phil, and have those low possession, high impact games. There's so many numbers around the ball, it might be difficult for them to impact. There's a good mark there.
That was well done by Slater, a long way from home. Got the kick on to Connor Dodd. So who's left down the Golden Grove goal area? And in the end, Glenunga, pressured out of it to concede the behind. Golden Grove go to 2-2-14. Glenunga 3-4-22. 8 points the margin on the Hahn Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard.
That's where Golden Grove need to win it, isn't it, Phil? A couple of times they've had that slingshot from the kick out, haven't they? Not able to score on the last foray. Let's see what happens here.
Slater's kick. Rams almost were lined up 3 deep without a Kookaburra in the frame. And it will be a stoppage 25 metres out from the Golden Grove Grove. We don't think there's a particular scoring end. Golden Grove did win the toss, kick to the left of screen. West, the end Golden Grove are going to now. West got the clearance. And that's about as far as she'll go. So very much a bit of a stoppage fest in the first 2 minutes, which is to be about the 5th or 6th we've had so far this quarter. West just kept Thompson at bay and just put the hand out, defended forward. Xanthopoulos with it at defensive 50. Oh, sorry, Temi, sorry, onto Wonky. I've got my teams wrong this set. So Glenunga, not too prettily, have got it inside 50. That's a Barry Crocker of a bounce. Pridham's got to run onto it. Got the hand pass on and is easy as you like. Declan Fay has got his first goal. Glenunga have kicked, I think, the last 3 in succession. And, that was just, all came down to that bounce and the speed of Charlie Pridham.
Yeah, the oval's quite hard, isn't it? So those bounces are going to happen sometimes, but they had an outnumber, Phil. That was why it happened. So the bounce eluded the Golden Grove defenders, but they had an outnumber there as well. So well done by Pridham giving the handball. Good gut running by Fay. And yeah, a bit of slingshot football, Phil. We've had a lot of stoppages and we've seen the ball go end to end as well. So it's been an exciting start to this quarter.
Some of the patrons here on what I think is sponsors or past players' day, or maybe both, here at the Rams. They will get another forward foray. Looking there for Kelly Mansell, who kicked a huge goal for mine after the quarter-time siren as we've got a bouncing football. Which just eludes our cameraman, James. Last disposal rule. Demi's kick. They fly 30 metres out.
That Prosser maybe a little bit unlucky there. Could have got called on the second bounce, second bite.
Not paid, I mean, that's where the weather conditions sort of...
Wet day, you give that, you reckon?
Possibly. I've seen too much under 8 football. I give that a mark every time. Ben's hand pass. They're going to work it around nicely here. Golden Grove will get the clean kick, and Slater is their target. He's getting a lot of work in the midfield. He'll get the free kick here.
Accidental e-massage from Nick Wonky again.
Yeah, interesting other record. Oh, so here's your man Johnson, who's again just rounds up and right in front of us. Grymick, it's been a bit quiet on Grymick here.
I think he's reasonably happy with how his team's playing today.
He's pacing himself. I think he's just checking the fourth at Morphettville.
We can confirm that he does have the team stats
He does.
filtered through to his phone.
Yeah, sorry, Nathan.
There are a few coaches in the past in the league that did check the races. I won't name who
I'll
they
tell you
are.
what, I know a couple of commentators who used to spend more time looking at the form guide than the oval they were at. Freedom. We'll move Glenunga on the Johnson. There's his man. He has an opponent. It's the Desira.
Great pressure from Glenunga. They're just all over them at the moment. Just winning the little stoppage kicks, but as soon as their playmakers, Glenn and Johnston, get it, they've got someone on them straight away, haven't they, Phil? There's no time and space here at Webb Oval.
Throw in. Well, that's beautifully done. Wester Davis deserves something of a 6-point nature. In the end, the kick will be just wayward. That was a...
They'll be disappointed, though, Golden Grove. West's in the ruck, so Davis is going to be the hit to, isn't it? They had to have someone goal side of him. That'll come up in the replay.
Could have been catastrophic for the Kookaburras, and here's West again. The big man is having an impact. An inside 50 kick. The Flyers come, and the Flyers take a grab. The second man up.
That's Parsons.
Sammy Parsons.
We haven't called him really yet today, but he's a good contested mark, Parsons. He can play centre half forward or centre half back. Good contested mark and a pretty big pack there, and he's always a pretty neat kick.
Came up through Ashburton. Played VFL for North Melbourne, Sandford for North Adelaide. Been here at Glenunga since 2021. Played every game, has 16 goals to his credit so far this season. And he delivers that right down King William Street. His first, Glenunga's fifth, and they're starting to put a gap in this one.
Yeah, it's a Glenunga game of football, isn't it, Phil? They are just strangling the life out of Golden Grove at the moment, who just can't find any time and space for their kickers to use the ball. Everything's in a rush, everything's in a contest, which is what happens here at the tight Webb Oval and with Glenunga's game style. But the Golden Grove coaches, they need to go to work and find a way. Is there a magnet shift? Can they get Cam Shenton in the game? Can they put Glenn to full forward? Can they try something different just to see if they can kick the next goal and stay in touch?
It all starts in the middle, and it's trying to stop the man Mountain and Davis. Pittman did a pretty good job. Then you got guys like Pridham with the fast feet and the faster hands to Lagana, whose kick finds a target, and it's another mark. Jesse Temmie has it.
Parsons
Can't
again,
miss territory.
I think it's Parsons again.
Okay, I'll
just
stand corrected.
Kicked the goal 20 seconds
23,
ago.
my apologies. It is Sammy Parsons.
It's a good minute here for Parsons. 2 contested marks and should have 2 goals. But it's coming from the centre clearance field. It's now 7 centre clearances to 1 for the match.
Wow.
So Golden Grove need to tighten up in that area.
And when you're playing a team that can bottle it up so well, if they get it inside their forward 50, those centre clearances are massive. I reckon that's 4 in a row, maybe 5 now to Glenunga. Davis will take a rest, replaced by Tully Kennett. Also coming off, Xanthopoulos with Kotrov coming on. Those interchanges brought to you by the Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic. And down on Grimacam, live boundary rider camera, thanks to Police Credit Union.
He's pretty satisfied
pretty happy.
with what he's seen.
He's got the pen out.
Yeah, so centre bounce clearances are now contested marks. 7 marks inside 50 they've taken for the match, Glenunga. So right on top now. Golden Grove need a response.
27 points the margin. It was within a kick when the quarter-time siren went. And Kelly Mansell after the siren gold. And it's been all Glenunga in this second quarter. It's like there is actually a 5-goal breeze blowing to the left of screen. I'm pretty sure there ain't. Just sheer workload. Here's Temmie. He'll kick it inside 50. Maybe I'll go for my mate in Parsons. There he is. Got boot to ball.
There's a play of the day. Parsons 3 goals in 2 minutes. And yeah, it looked like the kick didn't quite get to him, did it, Phil? Hopefully we've got a replay of that. But the ball bobbled to him and he got it onto his boot in a flash.
So they found the outside run.
That's a great goal by Parsons. And he's kicked 3 goals in 2 minutes. So he is on fire at the moment. You feel like $1 million when you're down at full forward. And they've moved Shenton out of the midfield down to full back, Phil.
First game I ever did on radio was a Sandford North Adelaide Eagles games. And a young lad called Heath Uni. Remember
Yes.
Heath Uni?
Still coaches at the Crows.
That's it. Well, he kicked 4 goals in the first quarter. But I don't think I've seen someone kick 3 goals in the space of, I reckon, 7 minutes. Which will, might upend your... Well, I guess there's 3 magic moments to choose from. Of course, we do have 3 awards to work through this afternoon. The best on ground with the New Balance and Belgravia apparel voucher, the Dartfish beanie and the Archie's footwear. We've got the Moseley Bar and Kitchen voucher for best team man, which is sort of our licence to give it to someone we think deserving of something. And then our magic moments, thanks to Nearmouth Mouthguards. Already, I think as this game starts to get a little bit one-sided, we start thinking in that direction because who's doing the big things at the moment the game is possibly being won.
Yeah, agree with that. Golden Grove need to respond, don't they? Because Glenunga's pressure is fierce.
And you're seeing that right now. Golden Grove have the field position. McKelvey's kick ruled not to be a mark. Maybe didn't go the full 15.
Perhaps touched off the boot. But I spoke before about Glenunga's scoring prowess, but they've kicked 6 goals in about the last 15, 18 minutes of this game, Phil. Really broken apart. They were down 2 goals to 1. Lucky to get that first goal through Davis. They kicked 6 on the trot.
No, it's got 6 on the trot. Yeah, thanks for that. I thought it was starting to mount up a bit. Okay, there's a fair bit of green here on the centre wing outer side. That's Shenton. Now look at all the blue down here. It's like they were just sitting here waiting for it. Are they going to concede the behind? They're going to be, well, they were quite lucky that there wasn't a Kookaburra lurking because that was quite a bad defensive mistake to handball it to nobody in the goal square. A little bit of luck there for Glenunga. Shenton tried to get front position. Oh, there's a huge bump off the ball. Someone get the registration of that truck.
It's got a bit of white line fever today, Nick Monkey, hasn't he? That was him that delivered that bump. I thought it was more than fair, and he got him flush. He didn't get him in the head.
Josh Dobie is the man who had the pain inflicted upon.
He's just a little bit winded. He'll be okay. But yeah, Nick Monkey's certainly throwing his weight around today. Great bump. Don't mind seeing that.
Well, a little bit of jumper holding umpire lets that go. Tully Kennett with the clearance. They're almost like lining up at the moment. Butterworth couldn't quite keep possession of it before getting tackled.
What's been good for Glenunga, Phil, as well, that last 5 minutes happened with Davis on the bench as well. We see
Correct.
He's the catalyst so often for those clearances and goals.
I reckon the first 2 goals, which Davis had a part in, then he came off and they just went bang, bang, bang. And I guess that's what, I mean, you made the point, and I think it's a very good one as Golden Grove looking in the Glen direction, using a bit of his skill to try and get separation, was held on. He was trying to get advantage. Is that Glenunga last year, had a great team, but Davis was the standout star, and this year he hasn't had to be the standout star. He's got plenty of others that are stepping up as well. And
as again, Glenunga are able to defend that inside 50, aren't they? They just can't find a winner in their forward 50. Just to win a contest, draw a free, take a mark.
They've had, 5, 6 inside 50s?
Yeah, 6. They've had the 6 for no score, or just the rush behind.
Just the one behind so far.
Which was
Meanwhile,
rushed.
Glenunga have kicked 4 goals, won. One of the robbing Peter to pay Paul scenarios is that Slater's had a couple of good marks on the wing. But who's there to take the marks up forward? He's going, that's a huge concession of ground to Shenton. Shenton moves it along, and we're pretty much back to where we were in terms of distance from goal, just the other side of the field. Mitchell Payne.
So hard to switch the ball and get out here at Webb because it's such a tighter
does not
space.
Work. You're looking for one more kick, and there is not the space for one more kick.
But the defender has less ground to make up to find his opponent. So interesting to see if they can just carve their way through here. Shenton getting involved in the game.
Shenton Cavallaro now on to Xanthopoulos. I've got him in the right side now. Leading kick and grab. That's probably the best play we've seen from Golden Grove in about a quarter.
That's Golden Grove there, isn't it, Phil? We haven't seen it so far today. It's so hard to do against Glenunga. It's so hard to do at Webb Oval. But they switched the ball back twice. Shenson involved 3 or 4 times. It was the overlap, and Glenn one-on-one deep got the advantage side kick he's been waiting for.
And also switching Josh. I'm not sure Glenn had the blue boots last week. I thought they were yellow, but he's kicked the goal. That's the important thing, and boy, did Glenunga need that. That's their third. 3-2-20 stops a run of 6 straight to the Rams, who are on 7-5-47. It's a 27-point ball game, and that is on the Hahn Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard.
It's an important goal, Phil. They just want to keep this game close. There's still so far to go. We're only halfway through the second quarter, and they're 4 goals down. So this game is certainly not over. It's been Glenunga's game thus far. But Golden Grove are capable of kicking, got runs of 3, 4 and 5 goals in a row in quick time. So they just need to get the arm wrestle back even, back in their territory, and then look to kick those 2 or 3 quick goals in a row and keep in this contest.
Slater with the tap. Glenn, no room to escape there. Last time I saw Glenunga play here, Port District, they did something similar. They got out to about a 5-6 goal lead against Ditters and thought that was all she wrote. Port District wheeled them in and got to within a goal, but could never get their noses in front. As at least for Golden Grove, they've got it down their end of the field. Kick inside 50 really lacked any directional purpose, and a bit high on the tackle. I would suggest that's Spencer Prowse. Who has it? It's down the wing. Pack of players to send. I says it was all touched, and it was Cockgrove who's at the bottom of the pack for another ball up. Nice little touch by the Rams to have the sponsors' banners out that they put out and bring in every day.
Yeah, a lot of work goes into that, doesn't it?
Well, when you share a ground like this, you know, and I'm thinking of Sturd on the Oval, what happened with Sacred Heart at the school, St. Peter's. There is a fair bit of work to create a footy ground out of what's a community facility. Park 9 would be the same as well.
Yes, the clubs do it well, though. A little bit of a stalemate here. This is Golden Grove just trying to get the arm wrestle back even and then back in their territory. So that would mean winning the next couple of contests, getting the ball inside 50. And if they can kick the next goal, that scoreboard doesn't look too bad as they get another repeat entry.
And they might have a chance at the next goal.
Cavallaro just used his body well, just stuck his backside out, protect the drop zone for a little man, and yeah, took a great mark there. So it's well done by Golden Grove. They just arrested the momentum back. They've actually had 10 inside 50s to 8 this quarter, Phil, would you believe it? Cavallaro is a sneakily good player, this guy. They need a goal here. It'll give them a little bit of momentum heading into time on.
Michael Cavallaro coming in for Pascoe. 13th game, looking for his 14th goal. No doubt about that one. And here come Golden Grove. Back-to-back goals. Margin is reduced to 21 points. They're 4-2-26. Glenunga are 7-5-47 on the Hahn Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard.
Yeah, well done to Golden Grove. They've had the last 5 minutes, you know, ball inside their 50. Like, they could have turned their toes up, really. Glenunga were on fire, 6 goals in a row, looking a long way back. But yeah, they've just steadied, got the momentum back going their way, and importantly, found 2 marks inside 50. They just couldn't find any contest wins in their forward 50, a free kick or a mark or retain the ball. But yeah, they've been able to take 2 marks inside 50 and convert. Well done to them.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think the lads on the Glenunga scoreboard need to check their 6 times tables. But it is 4-2-26 by our reckoning, and I'm going to back Hugo. But it may not be that for long, or at least Glenunga's end, because they're going right next to the goal line. Who's lurking at there?
Ball still
By
alive.
the boundary. They kept it in well. They're going to get the snap. It's going to get smothered. It's going to ricochet. It's going to cross the face of goal. I almost feel Glenunga kind of butchered that to a certain spot, even though they never really had the open area to get the kick. Paddy Ryan has it. He gets the hand pass on. They're keeping possession somehow. It's with Shepherd now. He's doubled, triple team. Davis comes in to lay his physicality to the contest. Butterworth is tackled, and in the end, a stoppage.
Thought Golden Grove were going to get out and slingshot the ball back inside 50 there, Phil, but just overpossessed a little bit. Probably just needed that one longer kick, and Glenunga's pressure was able to shut it down.
Yeah, West and Davis working as the combination again. On this occasion, Golden Grove able to get a hand in to stop that working. Shepherd with the smother. Zach Smith with the tackle, with being tackled. 30 seconds from time on of the second quarter. There's him. Glenunga had all the scoring early days. Have Davis. His kicks always seem to go another 5 metres more than I expect. Shen is directing traffic whilst running away from his opponent. In the end, they didn't quite work out. Tammy intercepts Parsons. Could he look for 4? Too far out to score. Yeah, he's going to go with a short pass, which...
Just got 5 metres closer for Nick Wunk, who's come down from centre half back, and this guy can roost a long ball. So great composed play by Parsons. He kicked 3 in the quarter. He might have been tempted, Phil, to just have a flying shot, but did the team thing.
Yeah. Good maturity when you've had a goal, quarter where you've kicked 3 goals in 5 minutes. You'd think you're almost immortal. Wonky first played Glenunga Rams 2017 via the Imperials Club in Murray Bridge from the edge of 50. If it is 50, because he's kicked that a long way. And Glenunga have responded to back-to-back goals from Golden Grove with their 8th. First for Nick Wonky. His first for the season, kicking 8 goals last year. And on the Hahn Ultra Zero Cup scoreboard, we're out to 27 points. Glenunga 8-5, that's 53. Golden Grove 4-2, that's 26.
That goal kicking style looks very familiar. I think his older brother Mike might have taught him the little shuffle and the ball drop, because that was a beautiful set shot from 50 metres. Nick, he's played a lot of football up forward. Looks like he's posted at centre half back with his comeback this year, but great play by Parsons to set him up.
Well, plenty of Glenunga players. Oh, how's that? West straight to Davis. Davis is going to take a huge roost for the play of the day. Wow. How good was that?
Sorry, Sam Parsons, that might have just overtaken you as the goal of the day.
We've got 2 mouth guards.
Yeah, we might have to hand them out. That's textbook stuff, isn't it? So it's West down to Davis, and he's just broken free, and he is 60 metres out there, Phil, and he has launched that a mile, and that is a fantastic goal. We mentioned Golden Grove were just getting back into the game, and Glenunga have gone bang, bang. Great play by them.
Yeah, well, there is a crowd here because they all got into that one. Dave Davis is 3rd for the afternoon to join Sammy Parsons on 3. Yeah, who said that? I know. Here we go again. This time it's West. Only this time it's to Faye. Faye with a more worm-burner kick. Shen went over the top. Now it's going to be a free kick, surely.
It's going to be Parsons.
And Parsons going to have 4 1/4.
So they've got a real
a chance for 4 1/4.
Real problem here at the centre bounce. Phil, that's now 11 centre clearances to 1 for the match and 7-0 this quarter. So all the attention went to...
You can't lose with that kind of domination on this kind of ground.
No, you can't. West's tap work's been good, but what happened there, Phil, all the attention went to Davis after their previous goal, and then Faye was on his own, wasn't he? So, yeah, Parsons looking for his 4th goal of the quarter.
Something you do not see every day. And he made the goal, umpire work, but that is an awesome foursome for the second quarter. To Sam Parsons. And just like that, Glenunga have their cushion back with their 10th goal of the day.
Yeah, like I said, we've spoken so much about how good Glenunga are with their pressure and their defence, but their scoring, Phil, as well. Like, they've kicked 10 goals in the half against another finals fancy. So, yeah, their scoring power is coming to the fore here. Quick goals in succession. Reminds me of Collingwood last year. They'd have you for 5 minutes and kick 3 or 4. And put the nail in the coffin. Great play by Glenunga. Golden Grove need a centre clearance here. They need to tidy that up immediately.
Yeah, Robinson got the tap this time. They might actually get one. They almost do. Pridham's kick does go forward, not by much. So that's Pittman's kick. Pridham picks it up. And Dobie, who came off earlier after collecting one from Nick Wonky, came back about 7 minutes later. Good to see him out there in possession of the footy. Goes wide to Templeton, who I don't remember calling too much this afternoon. They'll go with a traditional high kick. West is waiting there. Pridham's Prowse is waiting for the hand pass from West. There's Smith, couple of key Glenunga defenders. Ends up though with Hable. Hable from 35 goes with the team thing to the top of the square where Johnston is lurking. Bennett to Carlo Vasilis. He cannot thump it through for a behind quick enough.
So you can see that's certainly a coaching instruction. They'll take no risks on that last line, will they, Phil? They'll rush the ball through and then go with their long kick out and clear the zone.
In this case, open man at the 25-metre dash. Now comes the long kick to the side, thumped out of bounds. Yeah, look, when you have this lead, conceding a behind is not going to hurt you.
No. You can see they don't concede easy goals, do they? Every goal you get against Glenunga is earned with good play. They don't give them to you.
24 and a half minutes gone. 37-point lead. Really has been Glenunga's quarter. Will spill to the back. Rawn's kick. And it bounds on the full. So maybe a last chance here for Golden Grove. It was Glenunga by 9 points with that kick after the siren. And in this quarter, Glenunga have kicked
7, I think, Phil.
And 7 goals, 1. I mean, that's where it really hurts. You get 8 scoring shots in a quarter, that's great. You convert 7 of those 8 into goals.
And that man getting back in the D50 to take the intercept mark.
Just everywhere.
We're going to need more vouchers today, Phil. It's been
2 mouth guards.
That first 20 minutes, there wasn't a lot to get excited about, was there? But in this quarter, Glenunga, it's been a highlight reel.
Yeah.
Great play by their top-end players as well.
I think that's one of the reasons why we got this match selected. One, you've got Golden Grove, who have some stars who've been playing good football, and Glenunga, who have some absolute stars and yet to be beaten this season and don't look like they're going to be beaten today. We've still got a half to go, though. Can't call it too early. Desira picked up Davis's thumb. Again, a Barry Crocker of a high bounce. Eludes a few. Picked up by Carlo Vasilis. Wormburner kick finds a ram target. That was Kelly Manson, the kick to go up the quarter time siren. And Lincoln Bennett lost his opponent somewhere in all of that.
That's textbook stuff end to end. Kelly Mansell, he just had the tick lead there, Bennett. So when the players are running back to goal, all they have to do is stop, prop, and their defenders can lose them so easily. And there's just a good connection with the kicker. That's great play by Glenunga. We don't see that from them too often, that offensive prowess, but that was great cohesion kicking inside 50 there.
Well, they kicked a season-high 19 goals across the game against Princes last week. They're on track for something better today. Now with kicking like that, they might have it by three-quarter time.
Hey, Zachy, they've already taken their 12 marks. We've got to deny it the next minute.
Just that we'd let the coach have his say there. So, 11 goals for the quarter. So 11 goals for the game, 8 for the quarter.
He'll feel good about that, Bennett. He missed 2 set shots in the first quarter, didn't he? But he flushed that beautifully. He's a great role player for them. He's a pressure forward guy that can bob up and kick a couple of goals for them as well.
So part of of course, no grandstand here, and the club rooms don't sort of have a balcony or anything. So the fans here do sort of branch around, and it is a ground where you do pretty much bring your own deck chair. And a day like today, that works pretty well. I think that counts as a centre clearance to Glenunga. We're checking with our official statistician here.
Asterisk next to
Asterisk. Well, it's been a high-scoring quarter. We've been treated to 12 goals. It is. Pittman on to Glenn. He's got some space to wind up from 50. The kick is wayward. Or is it? Cavallaro's taken the mark.
Sure, Glenn will take that, but it certainly was his intention. Just didn't quite flush it, having the running shot on goal, but a good mark by Cavallaro, just in the right place at the right time. Again, protects the drop zone well for a small, crumbing type player. He's a solid mark.
Probably caught the Glenunga defenders a little bit flat-footed, thinking they were going to have to race towards goal, and suddenly it's spraying out the other side. From 25. Just like that. Cavallaro has 2. Unfortunately for Golden Grove, every time they kick a goal, Glenunga respond with 2 of their own.
or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's the margin's there, isn't it? But much better for Golden Grove to have kicked maybe the last goal of the quarter rather than concede another one. So it's a big centre bounce here. Let's see if we can catch up on what they do. Obviously, Davis is going to be the hit man. West has been dominant. They need to be goal side and lock on. It's Pittman actually on Davis.
Well, it's best against best, isn't it?
And another centre clearance.
Bennett's kick will bring the blow of the halftime siren, but not before we saw 11 goals kicked in that quarter. 8 goals won to Glenunga, 3 goals 3 to Golden Grove. We'll give you the goal scorers and some stats, some scores around the grounds when we come back. But you're with Adam Jeffries, Phil Hurden, Hugo, James, Elias on the camera, giving you all the action. This is the Adelaide Footy League, thanks to Filming Footy.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep, basically since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
housemates for what, nearly 4 years?
Yep. Basically, since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
It's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house sit when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
And welcome back. You're looking at the halftime scores across the Adelaide Footy League Division 1. Some fascinating results. Glenunga, well, really good quarter, 37-point lead. They actually have the biggest lead across the entire 5 games. Broadview and Payneham was interesting because I had Broadview leading by 19 points at quarter time. And if that's the case, they kicked 6 behinds in that second quarter. Payneham out in front by 14. Falcons want to win to stay in third. Port District trying to chase them in fourth, but they're in a shock of bother at Largs, trailing Shock by 22 points. And Tea Tree Gully, probably that's a similar record. Be a bit of a surprise though, leading Prince Alfred. Only 2 goals 5 at half-time at home on a pretty decent day. And the final result, well, this is a battle for survival, and the score reflects that. Brighton 7-3-45 trail St Peter's 7-6-48. At the moment, Brighton are in 10th spot by half a game from St Peter's, and I think it's 1.5 games to Tea Tree Gully. Actually, another half game to Tea Tree Gully. So if Brighton lose and Spock and Tea Tree Gully get up, they're 1.5 games out with 3 games left.
Yeah,
and
Brighton have the draw
tough.
as well, don't they? They do have the 2 extra points. Or the extra point, however they work the ladder. Yeah, so there's some great games happening around here. But this game was blown right open in that quarter, wasn't it, Phil? 8-goal quarter to Glenunga. So Golden Grove, I'm sure their coach, Luke Barmby, first thing he would have grabbed was the statistical sheet, Phil. 12 centre clearances to 2. Yeah. And that's the one area you've got to tidy up. You tidy up that area, they've kicked 3 goals from centre bounce clearances. So that's certainly something they've got to tidy up straight away. And that it's personnel driven, it's a want and a desire, and there's also where should you be standing? You know, like a lot of them have come out the front, they haven't had a sweeper in play. So if you're going to let the opposition get a clearance, sometimes it's best if they have to handball chain backwards out of that clearance field. You can put pressure on, but it's impossible to defend those clearances that Glenunga got. Abe Davis, almost a goal of the year type contender for mine, that goal, Phil. You won't see much better than that from 60 metres out from a centre clearance. Yeah. So yeah, that was a real clinic Glenunga put on at the centre bounce. So Golden Grove need to tidy up that area. And the other thing, we hate talking about this halfway through a game, Phil, but the percentage is crucial, isn't it? If you lose a game by 10 goals, you can drop that 3 or 4%. And that ladder is so tight that they did have a better percentage than some of their opponents on the same points. But you lose a game by 10 goals and an opposition win by 4 or 5 goals, and that tightens up straight away. So they've got lots to play for here, Golden Grove. They need to find some form in this second half because they were thoroughly outplayed in that second quarter in particular.
Yeah, my theory on Golden Grove was that they'd probably banked enough wins that they could lose one to Glenunga. They've got Prince Alfred, Sacred Heart and Tea Tree Gully as their last 3. And even if the last 4 they go 2-2, the teams in 6th are 2 games in percentage behind. As long as Golden Grove don't get thrashed and lose that percentage advantage, they should play finals. Of course, there's a lot of ifs in those assumptions, but you're sort of at a point now you can try and map something together.
Certainly Golden Grove won't disgrace themselves by losing today, but it's the manner of those centre bounce clearances that'll be irking the coach. That's just really, if you want to win finals, if you want to be competitive, you can't have the opposition walking out of centre clearance when you've got guys in there who have played AFL football, Phil. It's not like he's coaching a bunch of kids coming out of the college system. These are experienced, hardened players that didn't get the job done in that second quarter. But those guys know that. The coach won't even have to say anything. And so I would expect a fierce turnaround at the centre bounce. So we can see Thatcher there walking past. Looks like his day is certainly done, Phil.
Yeah, so they're down 1. I suspect that Glenunga are down 1 with Kane Pearson from their side putting some ice on the hammy at quarter time. If you've joined us earlier today in the seas, it was Golden Grove 12-5-77, Glenunga 9-4-58, 19-point margin. In the Bs, look, we did have a lot of stretches, and we had one that required an ambulance and took care of about almost a half of football. From what they could play, Glenunga 4-5-29 beat Golden Grove 3-4-22 by 7 points. That result actually puts Glenunga a game ahead of Golden Grove into second spot in the Bs. And here it was at the quarter time, it was Glenunga by 9 points, and they absolutely blew it open with an 8-3. Second quarter, you can see that margin there, Glenunga by 37. Thanks to our sponsors. We're going to have some awards later. Thanks to Archie's with is it 50,000 5-star reviews. Also, we've got the Neomorph mouth guards, we've got the Dartfish beanie, we've got the New Balance Belgravia apparel voucher, and of course the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. Jags Meatworks, you give them a shout out. They got the snag of the day. Now, we don't get to give that, but some other games.
There's been some good calls from our commentator friends around the grounds, haven't there?
We'd have our snag of the day all lined up. They're having a barbecue at Abe Davis's place. The winner of that gets a kilogram of gourmet sausages. Also, Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic, Dartfish with the footy stats and the replays, the Hahn Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard, and Police Credit Union. All set for the third quarter. Let's see what the half-time break has done and what adjustments have been made. Thompson will get, I wonder if he gets a second tap for that as a hit out.
So even that's a better result for Golden Grove. They get a secondary ball up and they can get their numbers in and squeeze so they don't give up the easy clearance now.
Yep, and they're getting down to be first to the ball. Just little things at the moment. It is Golden Grove going to the left of your screen. Somehow a kick come out. Somehow a hand pass out to Price, looking for Tem, who took it, lost it, has enough poise and experience to recover. Sends it out towards the Rams bench, and running onto it well is Fay. He set up a nice goal for Parsons earlier on through a centre clearance. Got some strapping just above the knee. What do you call that part? Is that the quad?
That would be a quad. Unusual place to have some strapping.
Yeah. From the kick and the ensuring thump, it ends up with Ingram. He's tackled straight away right in front of us here. Phil Hurd and Adam Jeffries. We've got Hugo, Elias and James, part of our off-camera crew. Pittman. Bounce for him nicely. Smith the pick-up. Desira with the kick around the body. A few went up early, Bennett included. Shenton trying to find some space on the outer side. But it's a ground where you kick it into space, it really doesn't work for you because you can't go wide enough. Hot footy. Bennett spills out to Tim. Here comes Pittman holding the ball.
He's a tenacious player, Pittman, isn't he? He probably he's one of the guys that was in the centre bounce in the first half, but he's really lifted in this first couple of minutes. Come out ferocious, Pittman.
He was one that I had a good talking to himself. I might have had some assistance with that. Cavallaro with 2 goals involved in that play, and there's Slater taking a mark. This time he's inside forward 50. And a chance for the Kookaburras to get the first goal of the second half.
Yeah, that was good football by Golden Grove, wasn't it? Great pressure by Pittman holding the ball, and then in the blink of an eye, their ball movement is their strength, isn't it, Phil? They just go and bang, 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 shot on goal for Slater.
It really is strength versus strength today. And the goal kicking from both sides has been pretty sublime. I can't think of maybe 2 from Bennett earlier. Slater's kicked his second. I can't think of too many where I thought, gee, that should have been a goal, and it wasn't.
Yeah, no, the goal shooting's been really good today. Another good set shot from about 40-45 by Slade. He doesn't miss too often from that range. But yeah, great play, great slingshot football by Golden Grove, and shows how good they are. If they're given a little bit of time and space, they can do some damage. Just Glenunga don't give you any time and space, do they?
There's the Glenunga hierarchy. Very intently watching proceedings. Back in the middle tea saucer. Pittman earns another free.
Great start to the third quarter by Pittman.
Looking to move it quickly. Heads out to that far side. For Hable. His counterpart 11 and Carlo Vasid has got there first. But I say one player we haven't seen yet is Davis. There he is right there. And is this going to be... No, it's going to be Davis' ball. 31-point lead to the Rams.
See, on this oval, that's the kick you don't want from Pittman. You've got to drive it in long, deep. That Golden Grove and some of the bigger ovals where there is lateral space and that player can run on. Here he can't. So I think Pittman would love to have that back. Just get it into the top of the square and put the opposition under pressure.
That's the high pressure one, isn't it?
Yeah. Johnston's earned a free kick here, shoved out of the marking contest.
By his standards, had a quiet second quarter. Glenunga have some numbers, but Golden Grove have the ball. Pittman again, another touch. I reckon that's about 5 he's had in this quarter, and it's been going for 4 minutes. Unfortunately, the kick wayward, Rams interception. Parsons is lurking. And Brittam couldn't get to it, going to be a throw. There's our broadcast van. As you can see, they put the cones of protection out to stop players running into it.
Cone security system always works.
I think they also mark the interchange gates as well. You can see some of the marquees in the background there, the past Players' Day. Davison ruck. Johnson has been watching some volleyball from Paris, I think. As Pat Ryan brings down press. Golden Grove, half forward flank. West picks it up, kicks in the contest. Pridham just got it away before Dobb floored him. Floored him too late. That'll be a free kick downfield.
I think Dobie was getting one back from that big hit he took earlier today from Nick Wunke, but yeah, cost him the downfield and an easy mark in the pocket.
And with that, we've got a mark in the pocket to the Rams. Going to be ruler Kelly Mansell, who had a very critical kick after the quarter time. Sorry, I mentioned it a couple of times. Just game was
it was 2 goals each.
Poised.
Yeah, it was 2 goals each at that point, and it's been all Glenunga since.
Yeah. And I reckon that one was a harder shot than what he faces here. Got a beautiful picture here from James, our mobile cameraman. Any better angle would be the goal umpire. I'm pretty sure swap ends at half time. He thinks he was off to celebrate.
He's off to celebrate, and that's a point. In the first quarter, it was no celebration and a goal.
That's it.
And Golden Grove on the slingshot straight away.
Yeah, a high hand pass might still work out for them. Ryan couldn't pick it up. Going back in hard was Hable. See, the contested ball is much more 50-50 than it was before. But it spills to Jack Scott, who had just had enough time to kick it away. Not sure that was touched. It should be Kookaburra ball. Johnson rolls over to get it.
Certainly come out a little bit more determined, haven't they, Golden Grove? Just a couple of skill errors in their front half they'd love to have back. That's a great mark.
Needed to be.
It was a very risky switch kick.
Considering the concession of ground, that was taken 30 out. Here's the interception to Temmie. He looks up and somehow finds Pritchard. Not the biggest target to aim for.
Yeah, it's just a killer, that turnover ball, isn't it? Like I said, they've had all the momentum. They've had all the yeah, it is Pridham. They've had all the momentum, Golden Grove. A couple of skill errors at half forward, one out of half back, and shot on goal for Pridham from about 40 out directly in front, who's not a lock from here. He's not a long kick usually, Pridham.
Kicked 1 goal last year for the Goody Saints, 7 this year for his new club, and that is not going to score. 7.5 gone. Hahn Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard has the Rams in front by 32. It's a good, comfortable buffer unless Golden Grove can get some sort of a good run on. They're trying through Glenn at the moment. He was possessed of the football whilst having possession. That's holding the ball. Pritchard to why did I say Pritchard? Pridham to Davis. Back to Pridham. Now you see some names, you just get it stuck in your head even though it's wrong. Not good for this kind of role. Glenunga managed to elude nicely. Going to be by the goal line, and Golden Grove are going to concede just before Declan Fahey can come through. And Temmie, another intercept mark. I reckon it's about the 5th one he's picked up today. And this is interesting, Coach Jeffries. Your thoughts on players doing that and turning their back on the goals?
Oh, if you're within range and you're going to kick the goal, it's okay. If you're not within range and you're not going to kick the goal, not good.
And I guess the fact is he's at the 25-metre arc, not the 50. So
I'd want the players to take the shot, but I'd always want to look forward just in case. More so for where the man on the mark might be cribbing to.
Yeah, that's right. And well, he thought he could kick the goal. There's not a couple of misses to the Rams.
Next tip will be Johnston will not be going short on this kick out. Expect a long ball out. They've had a couple of skill errors going short thus far. They need a long kick and just clear the zone and a contest on the wing here, Golden Grove. trying to find Glenn, and he's gone the barrel. And he's
Oh,
cleared.
watch that. That has landed dead set in the middle of the tee saucer. If he was aiming for the centre of the ground, he could not have done better. It's almost gone coast to coast with what, one kick?
Yep.
He's kicked that. Has he kicked that from one end of the ground to the other?
No, so it was
Sorry,
Johnson kicked the barrel into the centre circle,
Okay,
which
then
was
someone got a
marked, and
kick
they
on,
wheeled
okay.
and went inside 50.
Okay,
Yeah, so in the
so-
blink of an eye, they went from full back
Yeah.
to full forward. And that's got to be the template for Golden Grove. They've gone short a lot and turned it over on this small web oval. They've just got to go long to their good players inside 50.
I was like the judge and the javelin trying to mark it, but here's a pretty easy shot at goal from the boundary. Well, player was wide open. So quite a few times been left goal side. Habel on that occasion.
Habel. He's normally a classy type of player, Habel, who can finish those plays, but it was well roved off the pack, just not able to finish.
Last few minutes, a case of missed opportunities and turnovers. It's another one that will come the way of Robinson. He's had to battle West in the ruck all day. We'll appreciate getting a touch around the ground. Spills to the front. Prowse with the quick pick-up, partially smothered. Parsons coming a long way up to create the contest.
All the Glenunga forwards really high here at the moment, making sure they get that contest and get
Well,
that stoppage.
There is no one forward of the centre circle, although Prosser just goes back a little bit now. Another clearance, so they're winning a few of these now, the Golden Grove. They're going to pick up and wheel around now, looking for Lagana. Lagana and Cockroach, two of the special comments, courtesy of Jake Pittman.
Not
And
smart
that's-
play by Lagana. I know it was a bit of push and shove, but the umpire's right there. You've got to do that when the umpire's not looking, Phil.
So here's a free kick to Payne. Back to Cottrell, so they conceding to try and create the other side, something that you struggle to do at this ground. Johnston goes with a long kick. I'll tell you what, it's worked for him on this occasion. Found Tom Robinson, who's getting a little bit of separation from West. Davis taken from behind, will get the free kick. What's our inside 50 count this quarter, Adam?
I've got 6-4 Golden Grove. They've had plenty of opportunities. But just, they kicked just the one goal in the quarter.
Yeah, on the scoreboard, a 37-point margin is now 33.
They played well enough to kick 2 or 3 Golden Grove, haven't they? But again, just slow entries generally. Davis and co are able to get back and clog up all the leading lanes.
Well, we had a 5-goal first quarter, 11-goal second quarter. We've had a 1-goal third quarter for the first 12 minutes. Johnson in front position. The ball just dropped in front of him. He didn't take the mark. Sire just trying to let this ball sit for him. It does eventually by the bat. Somehow he eluded all the way through there, and he's found Parsons in the pocket. Sammy's looking for the inbound kick.
This is where you do the team thing, and I want to go short, but I want to kick this goal.
Of course, he can't kick it holding the ball like that. Oh, he's going to Stevie J from 50. Okay. Oh, no, from 25. I've been dotted by the arc. Okay. This 4-5, and he's missed.
It's a little bit inaccurate now. Glenunga after kicking, 8 goals, 1 in the second quarter, I believe.
Yep.
Kicked 4 behinds so far this quarter.
11-5, now 11-9. Golden Grove have just made a dent of 2 points so far. I think the end to the left is the scoring end. When you kick 8 goals in 1 quarter, it tend to be that way. Shepherd, had the position, lost it. Can Glenunga make him pay? Stoppage.
Yeah, just had a couple of little skill errors, haven't they, this quarter, Phil? They've got back on top in the contest, the clearances.
After all the dash and audacity of that second quarter, this has been a little bit passive.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going in hard, don't get me wrong, and maybe it's just Golden Grove being a little bit more accountable. Pridham High kick. Through hand, stolen by Lagana. He sees the goals! And he delivers that for mine. Is his first goal in Glenunga A grade. Congratulations to the young lad. I say that with some degree of hesitation because Play HQ does not have a record of him prior to 2024.
No, he just lobbed on planet Earth and started playing football. So good on him. And
take me to your football club.
He's picked up the game very quickly, if that's the case then. But that was a good goal for him because he gave away the free kick in front of us, didn't he? I'm not sure it was the smartest play in the world, but he got back on it and he's got the goal back for his team. After a real arm wrestle, 1 goal each in this quarter, Golden Grove have been much better in the contest. A few little skill errors, haven't been able to make Glenunga pay. Glenunga fall behinds and then get the goal they want. To keep that buffer there, Phil.
Game high, 40-point lead. I have a 40-40 rule. Have I ever shared that with you, Adam?
No.
Teams leading by 40 points with 40 minutes to go do not lose. And in the Sandful, where I sort of came up with the rule, I think one team in 15 years has managed to break that. And that was about 15 years ago. And I reckon at this level it holds pretty much as well. Golden Grove are going to do something about it, though, because Templeton's in front of the Zero Cub scoreboard. His kick inbound, though, easily picked off like they were waiting for it. Now, Glenunga have an extra player here on the broadcast wing. There he is in Zach Smith. Got rid of Cottrove and got a fair bit of space. There's your good crowd all gathered here this afternoon.
Past Players Day, a lot of old Glenunga legends down there talking about how great they used to be, and they're seeing a great performance from the current A-grade team.
What they're hoping to be. This particular group of players, one day they hope to come to these Past Players Days as the first ever Glenunga Div 1 A-grade premiers. So close last year, minor premiers, grand finalists. When I watched back that grand final a few weeks ago, it could have gone any way against Prince Alfred. As Bennett's kick inside, beautiful hand pass, needs the finish there. No, I thought it was going to bounce through the kick by Prosser. Beautiful hand pass, by the way, by Kelly Mansell to set Prosser up. But in the end, with those soccer kicks, I'm not sure if they're the really thing you do when you've got a pretty low degree of angle. You're setting yourself up for it to go weird, which it did then. Golden Grove, again, they moved it pretty well in transition. Starting to see a little bit of coast-to-coast play, Adam.
Yeah, we just started seeing more in the first 10 minutes of this quarter. We didn't see a lot of it. It's just opening up a little bit. But Golden Grove haven't been able to just get that final connection piece, have they, and get the set shot on goal. Just the 1 mark inside 50 for the quarter for them.
Tully onto Lagana. Tafei goes long into the pocket. Prosser has got Blades chasing him. Blades will get there first. Johnson couldn't quite get the clean pickup. Had to play defence in the end against Bennett. That's been an interesting battle if that's the matchup, Johnston and Bennett. Bennett's had a few shots.
Yeah, hasn't logged all day. Certainly was running with him in the first half. Johnson, probably the quietest quarter I've seen from him in the second quarter. He always gets the football, doesn't he? But in that second quarter, he was a bit quiet. He's had plenty of it here in the third, though.
Well, interesting when you get an opponent, that your influence does reduce. Ooh. There's a collision. How's that from Spencer Prowse?
That's a fantastic tackle.
Did not concede an inch.
With a player coming at him full tilt. And he just, did not give an inch there.
I remember a player called Kevin Harris, way back 86, but before your time?
No, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe before
Kevin Harris was Gary McIntosh before there was a Gary McIntosh. Played for Woodville. The cheer squad, we nicked him the one-man brick wall. It was that kind of play.
That was a brick wall tackle, that was. It just stopped him in his tracks.
So Blades has it, centre wing, commentary side, onto Shenton, who's the deepest player in the ground. Onto Johnson, the two AFL-listed players combined. Johnson's gone long distance and just on the goal line thumped through. So behind to the Kookaburras. A little bit of afterplay and the whistle's gone.
He's paid the free.
Oh, well.
So that's Lagana again. So he's a young player, Phil.
Yep.
And for mine, there's not a lot in that. But I will say, if I'd just given one away 5 minutes, I probably wouldn't have laid the little bump off the ball.
I'd be putting that pool in the queue rack.
Because you know what? It won't cost them today, but you do that in a final, Phil, and the umpires will pay them, and you give the opposition a goal, and there will be 6-8 goal games in the final. So, yeah, look, not a lot in it. I wouldn't be throwing Lagana under the bus too much, but he needs to learn from that, just to make sure he doesn't do it in the September fixture.
Okay, so as a coach, now back when I was playing junior footy, okay, back in the early 80s, okay, that would be, at this level, that would be a bit of a public dressing down kind of thing.
Yeah.
In modern footy now, we take into account everybody's feelings and so forth. Would that just be a quiet word kind of thing?
For mine, like an experienced player on the field just taps him and say, hey, come on, mate. Like I said, there's not a lot in it. Chat with the coach. Coach Grimer's not pleased over there on the sideline right now. Like I said, because he's not probably so much worried about today, Phil. He's just worried about someone doing that in a final. So best to get it out the way now. Have a chat with the group. Have a chat with the young player during the week.
So here's the thing, Rams. If you've got any frustrations you want to get out, this is the game to do it.
Yep.
Glenn. Interesting sort of curveball
That's
kick.
a great
Has
mark.
found the target.
That's Slater again. He's going for his 4th goal, I think.
He is.
Phil, that was a fantastic centre clearance and contested mark by Slater. Got the lucky free kick in the goal square, but he certainly earned that one. Bloke on his back. They're the hardest marks to take when the defender's hugging your back like a turtle shell. It's so hard to mark the ball.
I've got to use that.
That's a great mark by Slater. He's a good kick normally, this guy as well.
Yeah.
And no exception.
The kicking for goal today has been sublime. Mitchell Slater has 4 in what looks to be a losing affair. Golden Grove have 2 in the space of 90 seconds. West has come off for a rest. So is this the moment? As Nick Wunke goes in the ruck, he'll be up against Robinson.
So that's the other problem with the Lagana free kick. Goes back to the centre clearance and another goal. So it's momentum as well, Phil, as well as the actual action. So that's what Coach Grimer will talk about in the video review on Tuesday night, just to make sure you don't give up any momentum, because if this was a final, you wouldn't be able to relax, would you? And it's only a 4-goal ball game as we speak against a potent Golden Grove team. So let's see if they can kick the next one and just make it semi-interesting, Phil.
Well, we're up to a game high 40. Now it's 27. And I don't have my 40-40 rule to use at this point. I mean, Glenunga have shown abilities to let a team kick a couple and then respond with a couple of their own. Butterworth attacking edge of centre square. That's a high kick. Very high kick. Parsons is lurking by the boundary line but can't pick it up. Will be throw in.
It's easy in the commentary box, Phil, isn't it? You made a note of that high kick. That's when you're a forward, you want that kick to just come in a little bit lower at your eye level, because it's so hard for the opposition to spoil the ball. When the ball is up and under like that, it's almost impossible to mark that football. Yep. Maybe just a slightly lower kick there.
And you become more aware of having to stop and wait for it and the charging players coming at you from behind.
Well, and he's dragged a free kick out here, Davis, I think. Held without the football. That's the attention he draws, isn't it? They're so concerned with what he can do at those stoppages, Phil. He actually didn't have the ball there, and the concern is, we better tackle this guy. So looked like the free kick was there for mine. He didn't have the ball. He was tackled to ground, and he just draws that from his great play earlier in the game.
Plays the percentages, doesn't he? And you play the percentage, well, he's going to get it, and if we don't touch him straight away, he's going to kick a goal out of nothing. On this occasion he doesn't, and he'll have time to think about it.
He's a weapon, isn't he? And he takes marks in the defensive 50. He's lined up for his 4th goal as well, Phil, which is a big game from a midfielder who drops back into defence.
Yeah. Abe has it. Interesting. He was almost like he was weighing the ball for a sec. Oh, very methodical. And has missed to the far side, just the behind, 12-10-82 to 8-6-54, 3/4 time, a few minutes away.
He's gone the barrel again, Johnston.
Where's this going to land?
And he's over the centre.
Over the middle. He's actually just momentarily in Golden Grove's half of the field. Glenunga quickly repel, though. Trying to pick it up was Braun. Couldn't do so, stoppage.
Johnston kick is such a weapon, yeah. Wonder why they do go short ever. Really, I know you have to break it up and keep the opposition guessing at times, but if I can get the ball to the centre to numbers, I'd be choosing that option more often than not.
Bennett's high kick looking for Prosser. He's double teamed out of bounds. No, look, I like the idea that you always have to mix it up.
Yeah.
I think any weapon, there has to be an element of some surprise in executing any weapon, and by all means that be the normal play. But you just got to, it's keeping them honest.
Yeah. It just doesn't repel and get scored against when you get the ball that deep away from your goals, and that's what you're trying to achieve.
Brighton have that play. Remember,
the line
once
out.
a game they have the line out, and that's
it catches the team off guard, doesn't it?
correct until they know it's coming, and then they can, be coached against it, sort of thing. Coached to deal with it.
Glenunga putting a lot of pressure on here with the ball at the top of the square.
Yep. A goal here would just settle things down nicely, and you just get the feeling they're going to bottle it in here until they finally do so. And we go out of bounds on the full.
Because the other thing with the kick-out, Phil, you've got to remember when you're coaching or playing, when you're kicking out, the opposition's more likely to score than you are. So that's got to be the first thing that's on your mind. How do we not give this ball back?
Yeah.
Not how can we score. Turned into an arm wrestle again in the last couple, which Glenunga will suit them. Golden Grove got a little mini run on after the consecutive goals to Slater. They just didn't want to concede one. If it was 22 at three-quarter time, Phil, it might be still just game on.
Well, Golden Grove have won the quarter, and after that second quarter, and they have won the quarter because the siren here has just gone. In that quarter, Glenunga have kicked 1 goal 5. Golden Grove went on to kick 3 goals, 3 including 1. A little bit of indiscretion from the Glenunga defenders. So, three-quarter time here. Glenunga leading by 28 points with Adam Jeffries, Phil Hood, and your filming footy crew. We'll get some scores around the ground. Adam will summarise his stats. We'll give you all the thoughts as we head into the final quarter of this one. You're watching the Adelaide Footy League, thanks to Filming Footy.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep. Basically, since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Welcome back. Here's the scene here at Webb Oval on a beautiful day to watch some Adelaide Footy League Division 1 action. Thanks to Filming Footy. So Glenunga Rams leading Golden Grove by 28 points. It was Glenunga, well, they've led at every change. They led by 9 at quarter time, 38 at half time, and as we mentioned, 28 here with Phil Hurd and Adam Jeffries. Adam, your thoughts on some stats that came out of that third quarter?
It was an arm wrestle, wasn't it? But what Golden Grove did is they got the game. You know, they won some contests. Centre clearance was 2-0 in that quarter. They did better around the ground and won some clearances, got the ball inside 50. They looked a little bit more dangerous, but they just had a few skill errors, a couple of short kicks out of D50 that turned around, a couple of kicks inside 50 they'd like to have back, but it was a better quarter by Golden Grove. But unfortunately, they're just so far behind that they need to have a 6 or 7 goal quarter to get back in this game, and Glenunga just don't let you do that. Glenunga still looking solid, a little bit inaccurate. I think it was 1 goal 5 that quarter, Phil, after an 8 goal 1 quarter previous to that. So they're still well and truly on top. Glenunga, for mine, hard to see them being overrun from here.
Yeah, and Glenunga are kicking to the scoring. And we've had 20 goals kicked so far. And it's been 13 to the left of screen, which Glenunga are going to this quarter, 7 to the right. It's got interesting around the other grounds. Now, the relegation battle, Brighton 10th, St Peter's 9th. It was St Peter's by 3 points at the half. St Peter's did not score in the third quarter. The Bombers added 46 points. They now lead, 43-point lead, according to the score I looked up.
That relegation battle is going to go right to the last round, isn't it, Phil?
Which means
Just feel it.
Brighton would jump St Peter's and possibly jump Tea Tree Gully. Now, at the moment, Tea Tree Gully are leading Prince Alfred by 11 points. It was 18 at the half, so that's still within range. It was Payneham by 14 at half-time. They now lead by 5. And it was Sacred Heart by 22 at half-time. They now lead by 2. So there are some games of consequence within a kick or two around the Adelaide Footy League. This one, look, to be honest, can't see Golden Grove getting up here, but we'll learn a lot about them in this final quarter.
Hello said their third quarter they played much better. The coach would be disappointed, Barnby, that they didn't turn that around in the second quarter with that centre bounce domination that Glenunga had. So what Golden Grove will try and get in this last quarter, if it was back to a contest, win some stoppages, get their centre bounce right, get their structures right, and maybe a couple of their players have been a little bit quiet. Maybe apart from Slater up forward, who's been a really good winner, 4 goals in a losing team's a good effort, isn't it, Phil? They probably need another winner up forward as well.
Don't forget, tomorrow we'll have the weekend wrap, the men's and women's versions, giving all the A-grade scores around the women's, which are now in finals this week. I think just Div 1 and Div 2 start next week. Also, Between the Posts, which is out on Monday evening, roundabout Monday evening, Monday night. Yeah, when Hugo decides to do something about it. And that includes, of course, some great raps around the whole Adelaide Footy League, including Tommy Javor's Division 1 rap and the Adelaide Footy League Facebook page. Plenty happening there, including we've got the Born to Build Gold of the Week, Bianco Construction's Mark of the Week, including, I think we had a wildcard nomination last week from OSB Lonsdale. Mr. Rigney.
Trevor Rigney.
That's
He's
the one.
taken about 100 hangers in his career.
And of course, Thursday night, Channel 9, Thursday Night Live. Make sure you get and support that. And we've got plenty of prizes to give away. We'll talk about those through the final quarter. You've got your list working well, Adam. You've sorted all that out.
Pretty comfortable here, unless something weird happens, Phil. Let's see how we go.
Not being comfortable. Have a look at that dog. Just sitting there, enjoying life, on the lap, all rugged up. What a wonderful afternoon to enjoy some footy. Let's see what Glenunga and Golden Grove can put on. The crowd have cleared, I think. I think that's what we're waiting on.
Yeah, it's a big crowd.
One solitary gentleman on the far side.
Almost like a finals crowd come out to the huddle there. A great crowd down in the pocket for the Glenunga Past Players Day today.
Yeah, adding all there. Back in my day, we used to do this and that.
Game's soft these days.
Yeah.
And we've seen some pretty heavy hits as well today, haven't we?
I have to say, I should have been here during the reserves game. They may not have agreed.
Busy day for the trainers today, for both clubs.
Absolutely. And kudos to them. They do so much behind the scenes, and they're often the first ones here. And Abe Davis, speaking of which, that's not... Ooh, that's something that would just put a shiver down Coach Grimer's spine.
A little knock to the shin there. Hopefully he's fine.
But regardless of the state of Abe Davis, still a long centre clearance that puts Shenton under the pump. And he eventually concedes the point. And the margin goes out to 25. So 4 goals and a bit. Actually, that's not right. 29, my apologies. 4 goals. Just under 5 goals. With Braun in the middle. All wrapped up. Next week, Stream Team, we're heading up the northeast to Pertaringa Oval. Tea Tree Gully and Brighton. They're in some close battle. Well, Brighton are in a close battle. Has massive relegation implications. Plenty of other big games. Golden Grove get Broadview next week. That's at Harper's. So get Prince Alfred. Glenunga go to Sacred Heart. That could seal the minor premiership. Right now, it sits with Scott, who was looking for Pridham. Intercepted by Paddy Ryan.
I'm going to try the switch.
Good luck. If we can just created some pain for Blades. And in the end, Wright comes across and says, sorry, mate. Should have done that a little better. West comes charging in, got a hand to Temi. He's tackled straight away.
Hard work for West there. He's down the line 50 metres from the ball, and then the quick turnover, and he's got to come in and do the ruck.
Playing a kick behind the play, and suddenly he's got to come up and be in the play. Oh, jeez. Felt that one. Everybody up, which is good to see.
I think Big Jordan West getting a little bit frustrated because of the third man up, Phil. The Golden Grove have been able to get the third man up at a lot of these ruck contests. Let's see what happens here.
Boundary throw in right in front of our commentary spot. West cleared the space. I'm not sure if Faye will get the ruck tap for that one. I'll leave that for the statisticians to work out. Temi comes in and puts the pressure on Templeton, who really hasn't had space to move today. And I know you've got your players mixed, sorted, but Jesse Temi, he's been some kind of...
solid.
He's been very solid. Okay. Comment from the super coach. As Pittman goes forward, there's a mark to Slater.
Slater again.
He's on the verge of having 5.
Which is a pretty good game, isn't it? In a losing
cause.
Effort.
Yeah.
5 out of 9 is a pretty good game, and we spoke about the omission of Pascoe pre-match, and this is probably where Pascoe can come in. If Slater's done this with the best defender on him as well, so when Pascoe gets back, he can be potentially even more potent.
Starts it right, curves it left. He's been a handful for Glenunga all day, and now he has a handful of goals. 5 for the afternoon, 28 for the season. He is the Kookaburra's leading goal scorer. That's
a pretty good season, isn't it? 28 goals. Not many guys kick more than 30 or 40 in Division 1. And he's been consistent. I dare say it's his first 5-goal bag, but he's a guy that bobs up and kicks 2 and 3 every week. Yeah, but he's some of his contested marking and his set shot goal shooting for a guy his size is probably the most impressive part, isn't it, Phil? I think he's kicked 5 straight, which is what you want to do. You're not going to get too many more shots.
Well, you did ask. Let me find out for you. I'll try and run my laptop and call some footy at the same time. What could possibly go wrong? Another centre clearance to Golden. Are you sitting in your centre clearance numbers after half time, Adam? Because it was certainly, 12 out of 13.
Yeah, 12-2 at half time. 3 each in this second half. Hasn't been as many goals.
Gotcha. So, on Mitchell Slater. Apologies if I've said Michael along the way sometimes. I don't know where that came from. You're very well spot on. Yeah, most he's kicked before in Div 1 has been 3. Once against Teacher Galley, once against Port District. So, absolutely spot on, Mr. Jeffries. It's Josh Ingram taking the mark at centre halfback. Where's Louis Johnson? There he is, running hard to create that one. He's missed a couple of his kicks today. Desira picks up. Sees an open goal. Bennett shepherds it through. Some carnage at the goal post, but that is a major.
It's an old school shepherd, isn't it, Phil? We don't see a lot of them these days, apart from on the goal line. But yeah, he just had the inside running on his opponent, was able to shepherd it through. Turnover from Johnston, who doesn't miss many of those kicks, but he has today a couple of times and made him pay the ultimate price. Desira on the turnover kicks the goal. Probably puts this game to bed, Phil.
I think it went to bed about the time Fat Cat did. You remember Fat Cat going to bed? No?
We're not allowed to say when we're commentating these games it's all over in the second quarter.
Correct.
We've got to try and keep it positive because strange things can happen.
There's always a theory that whatever you do to me in the first half, I can do to you in the second. The Glenunga did plenty to Golden Grove in the first half. But Davis, the hand to Sears, looking for 2 in a minute. He's still got a chance here. The first one's fumbled. Now he's by the boundary line. Does the team thing and spots up Davis. I'll tell you what, how can you not love this football club?
Yeah.
The way they play, just the movement of the ball and the options upon options.
And they're just unselfish as well. Desira was not going to snap that goal. He was going to come back, wasn't he? And for mine, just watching Davis closely today, Phil, I think he's fitter than last year. He looks like he's covering the ground really, really easily at the moment, which is a great sign for Glenunga leading into the finals.
And the other good sign was doesn't seem to have any lingering effects from that little
knock to the shin, I think it was.
Yep.
They can sting for a few minutes, but he's fine at the moment. Looking for his 4th goal, I believe.
Comes in from 40.
He's missed a
Makes
couple,
the goal
hasn't he?
umpire work on it, and that is one of them.
It's the only blemish on his game. A couple of set shot misses today. Could have had a handful.
We've seen, actually, the points have raked up a little bit in the second half. 22 goals, 18. So really the question is, it's a 5-goal margin. You know, will it be 40 or 20? And Glenunga probably are not going to get, well, they're not going to get their highest score. They were on target for that, but had a very low-scoring third quarter. Golden Grove again, some of their movements being great. That was Cavallaro getting it on to McKelvey. McKelvey wastes no time through the hands of the intended target. Payne lost it. I think that's Cavallaro again. His kick was smothered. Now, the bouncing ball is going to be critical here. Beautifully done by Davey. Back to Johnston. How can you go wrong with that approach? They're not 15. How could you go wrong? By the umpire deciding it's not 15. Pridham onto Desira. Here's for 2 goals in 3 minutes. He delivers and salutes the crowd that's here. Another goal off a turnover. And, yeah, got the ball and ran.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky. It was probably the right call from the umpire. Didn't quite look like it was 15, did it? But just made them pay, didn't they? Just a quick handball from Pridham to Desir, and beautiful shot on the run. Down the hill there, 50 metres out. When you're on the run, you get a lot of momentum through your kick. It's a great play by Desir. He nearly had a third before as well, didn't he? So he's getting ahead of the ball this quarter and playing some good football. Great finish there.
As you can see, some of the interesting body language on the Golden Grove bench. I mean, it's not a catastrophic result for them. It's in my training, I'd call this a learning check.
Yeah, and he'll be able to go to the tape and find so many good learnings in this game, because they could play a Glenunga in a prelim or a grand final potentially as well. So they've got to go to the tape and work on this.
I mean, I think the critical thing is that they don't let this one blow out. You talked about the percentages before.
Yep. Because there could be 4 or 5 teams come up with 9 wins, and you want that percentage to look solid, don't you?
Indeed. So, Golden Grove pushing it forward. McKelvey from 50 has missed. Another behind to the tally. 9-7-61, 14-12-96. 35-point margin on the Hahn Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard.
Love those zero carbs, Bill.
We're on the outer wing.
High tackle there.
Yeah, a little on the rough side for this time of day.
This is where it's a tough one, isn't it? Like you want to play the game out with the high level of intensity, but the last thing you want is injury. So you do get a little bit of junk time here, where there might be a little bit more of a ring-a-ring-a-rosy.
Yeah, I think if you're coach of both sides and there's a couple of players that need to be in cotton wool, you're bringing it out probably in the next 5 minutes or so.
If I was, I'd have Abe Davis in the hammock now.
I mean, don't forget they've already been down one rotation already.
Yeah, that's true, and that's what you've got to remember when you do. If you do put players away, you can put stress on some of your other players that can't rotate. Yeah. But what they'll do is take some of the sting out of the game and just chip the ball around a little bit.
Speaking of rotation, thanks to Wakefield Sports Exercise Medicine Clinic, Josh Glenn getting a rest, and I think that was Todd Shepherd replacing him on Webb Oval. Robinson and West, they've been going at it for a fair chunk of this footy match. Interesting hand pass in Hope. Not sure that was actually touched anywhere. Will be a throw-in. Post-game, Adam, you've got your award presentation, so please stick around for that, folks. While Adam's doing that, I'll be sourcing some other results, because there's some matches of consequence around the Adelaide Footy League and some huge matches next week. Round 15, after this, there will be 3 rounds remaining. And besides the fact that Glenunga have the double chance and Glenunga and Sacred Heart have finals berths, Nothing else has actually been sorted yet.
I think Sacred Heart were hoping Glenunga might stumble in a game like today, and then next week beat them, and that'll be next week is at Glenunga versus Sacred Heart.
It is. That's at the middle school.
Yeah, which is going to be a very interesting battle, isn't it? We saw earlier in the season Glenunga won here by only 5 points, Phil. So there's not. I think everyone's talking about Glenunga. We shouldn't discount Sacred Heart this year. They've been tremendously consistent.
Yeah. You know, finals take on a season of their own in certain patches. Glenunga, with the minor premiers, will get a week off. They'll face a team that would have won the qualifying final. That has a momentum in it, and you see at certain levels that often the team that has the week off struggles early stages of the game. Maybe not the great benefit that it was back in the day, for reasons I'm
unless you've got a few
really
injuries,
not sure.
it certainly helps. But Sacred Heart certainly will be hungry this year as well, won't they, Phil, after straight sets, losing both finals last year. So they gained that valuable finals experience. So Glenunga and Sacred Heart are both going to be pretty hungry come those knockout stages late in September.
Dave Davis reading the ruck work of Robinson to Bennett. Kicks around the body. This match drawing, I think, to its inevitable conclusion. 35-point margin. It's way too much for Golden Grove to kick back now. All sort of academic stuff like can Glenunga kick the ton, which you'd think would be on their side, but they haven't done it yet. Shenton sees that out in front of the playground pocket.
He's made a couple of little changes here. Looks like Nick Wonke's at full forward now. He spent most of the day at centre half back. Maybe just trying. And the other thing Glenunga have got too with this point, so they've got 3 or 4 players out of their best seed. Michael McMahon's not playing today.
Yes.
Bo Schwartz isn't playing today. Alex Harron's not playing today. Oliver Cheeseman's not playing today.
Yeah.
So they've got 3 or 4 troops that they can bring back in as well. So, which is exactly what you need. You need hungry fringe players as well coming into the season. It's hard to see 4 players getting left out of this team, really, isn't it?
Well,
some of their role players have played really good football today.
Yeah. And as mentioned, I think Davis has got himself a free kick, or he's a long way off the ball if he hasn't. What have we got? No, it is a free kick going the way of Tully Kennett. Yeah, well, the Glenunga Bees are second and Golden Grove Bees are third, so...
Glenunga's B grade went all the way through to the grand final with them last year too, that's a critical little element, Phil. It does help to have that team playing.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, whilst everyone wants to play in the A grade, at this level, you still get to play in a grand final at some point, and finals at some point. Keeps the energy going. Kennett from 51. And then it'll be a pretty easy mark to Johnston.
Who, despite a quiet second quarter from Johnston, has been a pretty good player again today for Golden Grove.
Another one of those huge spiralling kicks that's got halfway across the ground. Sits for Ingram. Looking, I think, for Cavallaro.
That's kicked out of bounds, I think, unluckily. LBW straight off the middle of the shin.
Yep.
And that's last touch.
And there's a quick look at our main man, James, on camera.
Not sure why that's not paid last touch. I know it was accidental. What's the rule there, Phil? Was it not a deliberate kick?
I just think maybe they thought it was touched or thought it was more a fumble than a disposal.
Fair enough. Can I say again, Phil, the umpiring's been pretty good today.
Oh,
We haven't gone ooh-ah on many decisions at all, have we?
no, we had one in the first quarter from a rare location, but that was about it. In the second quarter, once Glenunga did what Glenunga did, the umpiring wasn't going to have an impact on this game. Kalavasides' kick. Here's Parsons looking for Bennett, decides to keep. Zigs, zags, goals.
And that's his 5th, Phil, after he was the man that set him up in the second quarter. He's been a little bit quiet since then, hasn't he? Hasn't really been involved in the game too much, but 5 goals is a great game by Parsons today.
Yeah, and look, it's... used to be the old 10 goal was the big event. Now seeing one player kick 5 in a game is rare. Seeing one from either side.
Throw back to the
rare.
90s, Phil. A
Yes.
5-goal bag at each end.
That's it.
That's the way of modern footy, isn't it? Forward's job isn't just to stand in the goal square and kick goals now. The forward's job is to help on defensive exits and pressure the opposition. But Parsons, he's a good player, Parsons. You can see his ground level play there, Phil. The selling of the candy. He can take a contested mark, but he's a good ground level player as well. That's why he's so dangerous.
Yeah. Got a few various weapons in the toolkit. I think I'll word that better next time. But in baseball, they have what they call the 5-tool player: power and speed and accuracy and game sense. And Parsons ticks a lot of those boxes from an Aussie rules football perspective at this level.
And he can play down back if he's not having a big day up forward. I've seen him play a little bit of wing. He's quite a versatile player.
Well, he's enjoyed probably the fact that McMahon's not in the lineup today. And I remember Machette was a player that would often get a bag of goals. Pross has been in there a lot, but hasn't been up forward today as Lagana gets in to create the turnover. Gee, I thought that Butterworth went down a little late. Umpire says play on that one. Back out to Robinson. West just runs interference. Robinson goes down again, pushed in the back. Can't even get the free because Golden Grove play on. Oh, and that's not good. And Tommy Braun is down and getting up in a hurry. The ball is leaking by the goal line.
The game's going on.
The game's still going on. It's touched. We've got Braun down. It is Braun right in front of us. And I'm not sure if we'll get a chance to see how that came about, but I saw something go flying, whether it was a mouth guard or some piece of material. Thankfully, he's on his own 2 feet after what we saw when we turned up today with a marquee on the oval covering a player who broke his leg waiting for the ambulance to arrive. I'm just glad anybody goes down gets up again today. That, of course, being James Smith. Hope you're feeling better, James, or at least you're comfortable.
Looks like Tom Braun is okay. Well, it was a heavy hit, though, wasn't it? There's been some big hits today.
It has.
Right in front of the commentary booth as well, most of them.
Yeah. Just when you think you're going to get through the game unscathed, bang, right 2 minutes before time on in the final quarter. That means they're going at it, which you would expect these teams to play it out. And while we talked before about the cotton wool.
Yeah, no, trying to wrap the playing game in cotton wool and then bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. Should add, Glenunga have kicked the ton, 15-12-102, the margin 40 points, which I think is tied for the game high. McKelvey's kick. Trying to find Payne. It's out of bounds. Time on is 20 seconds away. Adam is writing feverishly so he doesn't forget what award to give to what player. I do remember 3 or 4 years ago when we were starting this concept, Adam. There's a reason why we write. Let me say, there's a reason why we write them on a sheet.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can have a brain fade pretty easily once you get out
There
of there.
were a couple of times in our early learning days when
that wasn't our mate
Andrew
Jacko,
Ryder
was it?
would come back. I'm not going to name any names, but Jacko wasn't the one who did the presentations. I just that what we had and what we're given didn't quite match. Meanwhile, the kick centres up, and here's a chance for Golden Grove to get a late one. Should be Jared Cottrell, who's kicked 1 goal this season. Just played the 4 league games, 2 in the Rezzies. Last game he played was actually round 3 against Brighton. I think you were there, Adam. He did himself an injury.
Yes. It was a shoulder injury that day.
Well, actually, let me it's Connor Dodd. Apologies for that. And Dodd's just gone bang. He's kicked the goal. Connor Dodd had not injured himself. He's a Golden Grove junior from Day Dot. Spent a bit of time at Central Districts. He is his first. Got caught up there, Adam, that we've got 2 players out there with the bun at the back.
Ah, there you go.
The other one coming off right now.
Commentator curse, the man bun.
Hope no one at Golden Grove says, good goal. As Jared Cottrell comes off. Sorry, Jared. And, sorry to Connor Dodd as well. At least I got it right just before you kicked it. This game is heading towards its inevitable conclusion. It is now a 34-point lead in favour of the home team. Glenunga will go 15-0 as Pittman gets the conclusion. So the final 3 games for Glenunga as now...
Where's the loss going to come from?
Now serious discussion. Can the Rams be perfect?
Can we dig up, Hugo, when was the last Division 1 team to go undefeated to a flag? I wonder if we can find that.
Hugo has resources. As there's a nice kick off the boot. The man who kicked a really critical goal after quarter time, ruler Kelly Mansell, saw him on the boundary a few minutes ago. He's obviously back on. He's dobbed his second. Then we're just getting
in my time,
consolation goals.
Phil,
Goodwood?
10 years I've been around the Division 1 competition. No team has gone 18-0, won 3 finals and won a flag.
Well, you only have to win 2-0. Two
finals, so 20-0. I've seen it done in Division 2. I saw St. Peter's do it in 2018.
Did Brighton do it?
Golden Grove did it.
So not Brighton, Goodwood.
Goodwood, I don't think went through undefeated. I think they went 17-1 when they won their 10 flags in 9 years or whatever it was. But yeah, 18-0 and 2 finals wins. It's pretty special, isn't it?
Well, I know that I could look it up, but I got to commentate and you've got to give prizes. So we don't have a third batter. Here's Pridham. He's been good old. I mean, I'm going to be fascinated who ends up with all the prizes, Adam, because Glenunga have had some really good players. Pridham has certainly been one of them.
Yes.
And it hasn't been Robin Caruso with that. But it will be Golden Grove to recover from the scoreboard pocket. You can see the shadows starting to come across, almost reaching all the way across the middle of the ground now. There's Pridham again, avoided that nicely. Now he's in some space. Can he set up one of his forwards for the 18th time today? No, it's marked. 23 and a half gone. McKelvey to Johnston. Almost a hand pass to our cameraman. So that's beautifully done, actually, by both Pat Ryan and James, our cameraman, to get that without going off shot. I always wonder if James has got player insurance.
He gets close.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing there, though.
Only takes one good bump at the wrong spot, and we could have carnage on the sideline. There's Lagana laying the tackle on Ryan. Two of the youngsters, and I guess the future, two of the futures of the footy club, you would suspect. Weston Robinson still going around. Templeton's kick. Hoi. And it will be Jesse Tim. His mark tally will be impressive if it's not in double figures.
I'll have to check that with Tommy Javor
tomorrow. Put that down on your list. I won't put myself up for something stupid. I'll be very surprised if he isn't raked up at least 10 marks today. The kick in the west direction. Wonky had first dibs on it. Johnson about to get tackled. Pridham tries to get it back to Shenton. Still going hard at it.
Be interested to see what position they play Cam Shenton in come the finals, Phil. I'm not sure they know he was an elite defender and a drop-off defender. He has been a forward in his SANFL days, playing a little bit on ball. Hasn't been involved in the game as much as they'd like today. So I'm interested to see if they settle him in a position come the finals.
Well, I sort of moved Louis Johnson, who is a goal kicker, to defence. And that's a glorious mark. We have a late contender for a Neomorph magic moment. There's Pridham's kick. Who's grabbed that?
It was Abe Davis with the left hand at the top of the goal square, of course. Just protected.
Well, yeah. And I have a feeling Abe's going to be part of, well, I'll let you work out who's who in the zoo. But I have a feeling Abe's going to be on the ground. So, well, before Adam divulges our top secret prize winners, he's going to take off. Davis is going to go back. This is for 4. And this would be for 17 goals and a game-high lead. Whatever he kicks, as long as he kicks something, it's a game-high lead. And he will kick it onto the clubroom roof for Glenunga's 17th major. On the Hahn zero-carb scoreboard, they are 17-12, 114. Golden Grove 10-8, 68. Might have a quick look at Port District and Sacred Heart, because it is over. And Port District have beaten Sacred Heart by 5 points. All right, well, that then begs the question. Glenunga can only miss the minor premiership on percentage, which means that they're 3 games ahead of Sacred Heart with 3 games to go. So Glenunga can claim the minor premiership with a win next week. But that's huge for Ditters who lost by 27 points in a margin that didn't really reflect the game against Golden Grove last week. That is a good recovery at home. Sacred Heart there. Third loss of the season. And that's a beautiful kick. Desira has been in the thick of it in the second half. Particularly Davis can go back and be the third player to register 5 on the day. Josh Glenn has said, maybe my day's done. And it will be Cottrell coming back on thanks to Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic. But all eyes on the Keith Sims medalist to be right in the running again this season. Then pin is dropped from 30. Goal umpire did not have to move. And just like that, Abe Davis with 2 late ones has 5 on the day. I reckon that's his biggest haul. He's got 27 on the season. Star player originally began his career at the Saints of Maroubra on the Sydney Eastern Shore. Spent some time in the Swan system, South Adelaide. Then got into double blue colours at Sturt before transferring over to the Rams. 28.5 gone, a 28-goal game. Not too sure we've seen too many here at Glenunga where we've had 28 goals kicked. Normally it's around we get to 20, we're pretty happy. And to be honest, Golden Grove 10 goals 8 wouldn't win you every game, but it would win a few. Shatton and Johnston again under pressure. Bennett is lurking. The work of the Glenunga forwards today, forcing turnovers and converting 18 goals 12. What's that, 60% goal kicking's been pretty good. A bit of a poor patch in the third quarter, but the other 3 have been brilliant. They're going to go for another one here. And that's... I'm not sure if I could even call that a shot on goal from Nick Egar. He didn't kick a goal this year, didn't kick a goal last year. There may be a reason for that. Of course, with all the goals, and Glenunga, after kicking 8 in the second, have kicked 6 goals too, so they love that club room in. 14 goals kicked there. Pittman and Pridham doing battle once more. Parsons depossessed of the football. Paddy Ryan ended up with it before he was tackled. Siren is imminent. About to tick into 30 minutes. I should end this final quarter whilst Glenunga have kicked 6, Golden Grove have kicked 2. So they kicked 2, 3, 3 and 2. That's level of scoring consistency. You'd probably like 1 more goal each quarter. And there's your siren. That is your ball game. And the Rams are so close to back-to-back minor premierships. They're 15 wins from 15 games. If you've just joined us, Sacred Heart have lost to Port District. So Glenunga can wrap it all up for top spot and a spot in the second semi with a win at the middle school next week. What's happening around the grounds? Well, Brighton are going to beat St. Peter's. 28-point lead there at the 28-minute mark in favour of the Bombers. Prince Alfred and Tea Tree Gully. And Prince Alfred have stormed home. The Red Men, 9-8-62, trailed all day. 18 at quarter time, 18 at half time, 11 at three-quarter time. But the lead that matters is the lead at the end of the game. And Tea Tree Gully, I reckon, are now in relegation. So Port District have won, Sacred Heart have lost. Glenunga have won, Golden Grove have lost. Just filling in my little ladder here. Prince Alfred have won. That pretty much makes Prince Alfred safe from relegation and puts them a game in percentage behind in the battle for the 5. Tea Tree Gully dropped to 4 and 11, and I reckon Tea Tree Gully are in the relegation zone. Broadview and Paynham is done, so we are the late finishers today. And at the moment, I'm not able to bring up what's happened between Broadview and Payneham. Do apologise. So let's go to the big one, Brighton and Brighton are beating St Peter's. So Brighton, that is over. That's a 39-point win to Brighton. So just with Broadview and Payneham remaining, of course, the Dartfish highlights on your screen at the moment. So with Brighton's win, they are out of relegation. They've gone from 10th to 8th. St Peter's with the loss. At the moment, it's Spock and Tea Tree Gully. We will give you Tea Tree Gully and Brighton next week. But right now, who was the best in this game? Let's go. Let's go downfield to Adam Jeffries.
All right, we are boundary side. Great win for Glenunga today. It was a bit of a stalemate, bit of a grind in the first quarter. Then bang, they kicked the goal in the quarter time siren, then kicked 8 in the second to blow it open. So well done to them. It was really tough doing the award winners today. So many great players, but we had to settle with Abe Davis. 5 goals today for the big fella. New Balance Belgravia award to Abe. Well done to him. Now Morph mouthguard player of the day went to Sam Parsons. Again, Abe probably a bit unlucky. We couldn't give you 2 vouchers, mate. That is real stiff. We'll ask you about that in a second. And our best team man, Moseley team voucher, goes to Jordan West. So, Abe, let's talk. Are you upset that you haven't won the mouthguard player of the day after your 60-metre goal from the centre bounce in the second quarter?
Honestly, I am. I'll never do that ever again. I don't have a highlight in my repertoire, and I've just had one and been robbed of it. So thanks, mate. That's going to sting.
All right. Well, you guys can talk about it afterwards. But we wanted to get Sammy in for a chat. We thought your game was great. Now, Sammy Parsons, tell us about 4 goals in the second quarter and the little, you know what? It was a better play than Abe. I'm backing myself in here, big fella. You're not going to intimidate me. I thought that left foot goal was sensational, mate. Well done to you. 5 goals on the day, 4 in the second, and the left foot snap. Well done, mate.
Yeah, thank you. Stiff Abe, but yeah, look, it just bounced my way today, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But I'm just glad I competed and gave myself an opportunity, and got on the end of a few.
Yeah, well done, mate. 5 goals is always good in Division 1. And this guy, you know what? You guys get all the highlights. This guy's just a workhorse. I thought in the first half when the game was up for grabs, contest. The Glenunga game style means this guy's got to sit under about 100 high balls every week. And he competed, rucked really well. They had to put a third man up against you in the second half. Well done, Big Jordan. Best team man.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. I won't get the credit, but I gave Abe that 60-metre goal, so I'll take it.
So what Jordan is saying down here, guys, is Jordan thinks he should have got player of the day for the tap to Abe. All right. You know what? You know what I love? At least we're not getting cliche answers down here, guys. We hate cliches in the Division 1 Adelaide Footy League. We like the real stuff. But on a serious note, well done to Glenunga. We thought Golden Grove could come and challenge today, but blew it open in that second quarter. Their scoring power looks up this year as well. They're looking pretty good with September not far away. Well done, boys. Back to the Combox. Cheers.
As we roll through some more Dartfish highlights, of which we'll see the 2 contentious plays of the day in a moment. We'll see the Sam Parsons show in a second. So let's give you a wrap of what's happened around this league today. Firstly, Glenunga took care of Golden Grove in the end pretty easily. Brighton, trailing by 3 points at half-time, blew it open in the third half, defeated St Peter's by 39. Right now the Bombers are out of relegation. A ding-dong battle between Broadview and Payneham. Broadview led by 19 at quarter time, Payneham by 14 at half, 5 at three-quarter time, was won by Broadview by 15 points. Port District and Sacred Heart led by 22 points at half-time. Port District recovered and won that game. That means that Port District have jumped back into third over Payneham Norwood Union. Prince Alfred, Tea Tree Gully. Tea Tree Gully led at every change except the last one. Prince Alfred, I think, kicked around about 5 goals in the final quarter to steal it from Tea Tree Gully and win by 7 points. I think I've covered all the games. What that means, the ladder as we speak. Glenunga are on top at 15-0. Remembering, teams have 3 games left. Glenunga are 12-3. The only way they can win the minor premiership is right around the table. Glenunga lose everything and Sacred Heart get them on percentage. Third spot, about 3.5 games behind. So they're a lock for the top 2, those 2. Port District, half game ahead of Payneham. And neither of those 2 have locked away a finals berth. Port District need 1 more win. Payneham Norwood Union are an 8 on 7 in 4th. Golden Grove still in 5th. 7 and 8. We'll see what percentage ramifications there are tomorrow. A game out now, PAC and Broadview, who both won. A game and a half back now with 3 to go to the bottom 3. Brighton with that draw, 4-10 and 1. Tea Gully and Spock at 4 and 11. So there are battles galore happening in the Adelaide Footy League. Adam, you've obviously well done on the prezos, by the way. You will not be intimidated.
No. People that know me, I won't be intimidated by Abe Davis. He was. We wanted to talk. I wanted to talk to Sam Parsons. 5 goals, and he did kick a beauty on his left foot that got them going. But it's probably almost the play of the year. Hasn't won the play of the day.
Because he was the player of the day.
And I love Big Jordan West. He wanted a big part of it too. He tapped it to Davis. He wanted the play of the day too.
I almost think it's one of the problems with the play of the day is often it's the teamwork, and that was a classic example. So we might have a chat to Neil Morth and say, just for those sort of things, can we have the spare mouth guard for the rest of the season?
And Abe was disappointed not to receive the mouth guard. So he may have all the prizes he's won in the last years. Wonder if he's got a mouth guard.
I was about to say, he's probably got a shop full of iconic Dartfish beanies. Games next week, and they're all huge. St. Peter's fighting for their lives hosting Broadview, who are a game out of finals. Payneham and Port District might just settle the double chance. Golden Grove and Princes, that's 5th, probably versus 6th. Again, a final. If Golden Grove dropped that 2 in a row, suddenly they could miss finals. Sacred Heart and Glenunga just happens to be the top 2 teams in the comp. And then there's us. We're heading up to Pertaringa Oval for a game between 2 teams who are fighting to survive in this division. Brighton have a half-game lead. Tea Gully are in 9th, I think. Tea Gully win, they'll drop Brighton. If Brighton win, they're almost safe. So much happening at this stage. It's what makes the Adelaide Footy League such a fantastic competition.
It's been the Division 1. A lot of the divisions are seeing it's been a great competition across the grades. But the Division 1 is so even. The relegation battles are so good in the Adelaide Footy League, which is... I said a lot of country leagues go through mundane games, Phil, late in the season where it doesn't really mean anything, but every game means something, doesn't it? So fantastic season in Division 1 and across the Adelaide Footy League this year.
Alrighty, been a big day here. Adam, time for us to wrap it up. Any final thoughts?
No, we're on Glenunga. I thought that second quarter, it's just, I shouldn't say it came out of nowhere, but it was a real arm wrestle, wasn't it, in the first quarter, Phil? And then they kicked a goal on the quarter time siren. We always talk about those momentum plays. They got a bit of momentum out of that. And then bang, kicked 8 goals, 1 in the second. Showed some real power. Won the contest inside 50, and were able to finish. So well done to Glenunga. Golden Grove didn't disgrace themselves, but they'll have plenty to review on the tape on Tuesday night. Alrighty.
So thanks to Archie's Footwear, Belgravia Apparel, New Balance, Near North Mouthguards, Hahn, the Ultra Zero Carbs scoreboard, Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic. It was great to be here and see all the interchanges. Farmers Leap Winery, look forward to the Coach of the Week coming up next week. Police Credit Union, all the stuff on the boundary. Dartfish, the replays, the stats, and of course, who could forget the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. The weekend wrap tomorrow night between the post Monday night. Plenty of stuff happening on the Adelaide Footy League Facebook page. Adam, thanks to you on a fun day again.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a great game. Always good here at Glenunga. Well done to them. Great win again.
Thanks to Hugo on production, James and Elias on cameras, boss John Douglas, and of course all the filming footy camera. I'm Phil Hurton saying thanks for joining us. In the C's, Golden Grove got up. In the B's, it was Glenunga. And in the A's, by 52 points, staying perfect. Congratulations to the Glenunga Rams. I'm Phil Hurton. We'll see you next week at Pertaringa. Until then, let's leave you with the song of the victorious Glenunga Rams. Good night.
Big 5 today.